Alrighty. Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Mr. Phil Silverman's going to be commentating with me tonight. He had to run upstairs super quick, but then we're going to get started. Looks like there was a good number of people. I have no idea what they're playing, but that's still pretty fun. As promised, we're going to give away a T-shirt tonight, so that'll be good too. Yeah, I don't know. Just kind of nobody's saying anything in chat yet. A little bored. It was I don't know. Watch the Open this weekend. It's pretty interesting, especially watching like Fabiano's deck. Like Fabiano, he's always got interesting stuff. I still want to brew. I'm thinking of red-green deck in Modern. Just jams with Blood Moon effect really early. And of course, Legacy. I don't know. Bring in a Master Transmuter, why not? I'm going to make it work, and it's going to be great. Went ahead and get started, Phil. I'm sorry.
All right.
I'm Grishapoon. How are you doing? Oh, I'm going to you shut the door?
No.
I'll shut it.
I got it, right?
God, don't do it. I'm Grishapoon. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. So, I know we got Worldgorger tonight. Phil, did you see, and Sneak and Show?
Yes.
Yep. Those are the only two. Zinni was sleeving up, what the fuck do you have? I don't know, the Great Noble Hierarch.
Noble Hierarch.
I saw that.
Maybe like a Bant deck. He likes Bant decks.
He does.
He likes basic lands and True Name Nemesis. So
He does.
and like Stoneforge Mystic.
But he likes basic lands a little too much.
I'd agree with that. I'd agree with that.
He's like, you know what? I'm playing 5 colors. All my spells cost 1 of each color.
Yeah.
Fuck it, jam 1 of each basic in there. Why not?
That's expert deck building right there. That's a man who's ready to just try what he needs.
He's
to.
like, I'm not gonna lose to Blood Moon
No.
or Wasteland. I'm
Like-
gonna get all 5 basic lands out. It's gonna be great.
He consistently has like it's always one more basic land than I think he has.
Yes.
Like I see him and I'm just like, all right, that's probably all of them, and he fetches and just gets another
He
one.
gets another one. It's like,
every time.
you're a greedy son of a bitch.
Yeah.
But it works.
Yeah. I don't know what Simon's playing. Probably either.
Enchantress or Zoo.
Yeah, one of those two decks.
Yeah.
Enchantress or Zoo.
Pretty easy.
Who else? I don't know who else is there.
I don't know. Who should I go run up and tell to get on camera?
Put Kyle on camera. He
Yeah,
always plays like
Worldgorger.
sweet
Yeah.
Force of Will decks. We have 2 Worldgorger decks then?
Oh, Kyle Halpin?
No, Kyle Norman.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we're probably gonna watch some sort of sweet Worldgorger deck. Probably Esper colors. It'll be pretty awesome, I imagine. But yeah. Oh, sorry if the stream is laggy. Hopefully, I have no idea how to check. I gotta ask Mark about that, but hope everyone's excited to tune in here. We should be getting started in a second. Let's see. I don't know how to change anything though. I am not the technical expert here. But how is everyone doing? Hopefully doing well. We have like 4 people in the chat right now, I think. Let's see. Alright, looks like we're getting people seated. And pairings are up right now. Figure out what to do from here. Hello, M. Goldman. Nice to see you.
Alright, we got Peter Kapostopoulos.
Oh, I don't know how to spell that.
Yeah, I know. And we got Zinni.
Alright.
Because apparently, like, it was like lands versus Worldgorger, so that's not great. There's Enchantress versus something else. But he's playing Bear-Chantress.
Bear-Chantress.
He's playing Words of Wilding.
Words of Wilding?
Yeah,
That
there we
can't
go.
be a real card. Oh my
There we
God.
go. Make some bears.
Holy shit.
You know this stream's a fan of bears.
Yeah, so if you're wondering if anyone's playing a sweet list tonight, Kaisha Froth, apparently there's a Words of Wilding deck. I guess there's a copy.
It's Enchantress.
Yeah, there's a copy of Words of Wilding, which I am a fan of.
I have no idea what these guys are on. I probably should have asked.
So
Can you get Zinni's name in and
Yes.
Peter's name? I'll get a printout for spelling and shit.
Give me a second, guys. I'm just gonna get some information up here. Ooh, yeah. Anthony Zini. Yeah. Words of War is definitely gonna win faster. But I don't know. Maybe he just wants some blockers. You gotta deal with Goyf a little easier. Although I feel like the deck is pretty well set up to deal with blockers, given the elephant grasses and the like.
Is that how you spell it?
I think I was really close last time. It's close to that.
I'll give it to you.
I think it's actually an O there, Costopolis. But what do we got?
Esper back to basics.
Okay, interesting. So just speaking of basic lands.
Yeah. And then Zinni's on Esper Digblade.
It's Esper Stoneblade, basically. That's what he was playing before. It's just Esper Stoneblade. Ooh.
That's how you spell it,
yeah.
I think. Yeah. No, the B-A-L-D-E.
Yeah, you got it. So we got the Esper Mirror, and Xena's on the play. We got an island.
And we'll bring up back to basics, so that way. Yeah, show me a marsh flats and a back to basics. So I have to imagine that it's Esper back to basics.
Oh, for sure. Looks like he's got a detention sphere, a Jace, and there's a basic island. Seems like there's going to be a lot of land go in this kind of game.
Yeah, just a little bit. I have to imagine, though, if Peter lands a back to basic, he's ahead.
Yeah, Zini certainly is going to have, like, even though, as we said, he tends to build his decks with quite a few basics. I mean, the Esper deck usually comes equipped with, like, something like 8 or 9,
yeah.
if they're packing back to basics.
And if Peter's doing it right, he's got a Spinavish on there, and so it'll just blow up whatever basics are on tapping, and it'll be good. It'll be a fun day.
I mean, Spine is pretty nice. I'm more of a Dust Bowl fan, personally. But that doesn't really blow up basics, right? That's non-basics?
Yeah, I believe it's, because you just get, you get a wasteland, a repeatable wasteland.
Peter gonna crack a fetch here after the end of turn brainstorm. Pretty early to fire off that brainstorm, I think. I think I would be looking to gain a little bit more value later with a card like that. But maybe he was just looking for specific spells at this point.
Yeah. It's going to go down to 19 off of that. I think you just said that.
I did.
Yeah. You know, I don't listen. It's fine. I got that Schaefer syndrome.
Oh, yeah.
I got that dirty Schaefer syndrome.
In a world of your own. Ooh, Supreme Verdict. Not the best draw right now, but will be. It's probably going to be one of his few answers to True Name Nemesis.
Yes. Which I'd enjoy having that on there.
True Name tends to be kind of a problem card. Like, all these decks just like load up on Swords to Plowshares, and then, you know, they cast a 3-mana Progenitus. Ooh. Zini's Brainstorm drawing 3 straight lands. Not ideal.
That's what you want.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, and they're...
At least they're basics.
Three of them are basics.
Oh, thank God.
Peter's going to be a sad pony,
yeah.
I think, when this happens.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like, you know, you build your deck specifically to deal with all these, like, greedy mana bases, and then... Two of the first 4 lands that your opponent plays are basics. Yeah.
So do you just jam Jace here? What do you think?
I don't love jamming Jace here just because it opens you up to getting Jace back.
Sure.
Like if Zini has like any counter spell, he can just like land some kind of scary threat, and I don't really love exposing myself that early.
It should be.
I knew it.
All right.
I knew it.
Here's a printout and decks.
Oh, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Looks like we've got our list of decks here.
Yeah, left player. We'll fix it. We'll fix you, Peter. Peter wanted to be named Peter fucking.
Peter fucking.
I told him that was probably not the best route.
Mildly inappropriate. Only mildly though.
Nah. I mean, I'd allow it, but he just said it like in a very like emo way.
Oh no.
And I was like, you're just down on yourself.
That's unacceptable.
Maybe I should name him Peter Smiley.
Maybe. Let's see, Peter casting another the end of turn brainstorm and not cracking his fetch land. Looks like he just wants to make his land drops. He's got a counter spell, a Force of Will, a Jace, and 2 copies of Supreme Verdict. And I think a detention sphere between them. So pretty reactive hand outside of the Jace. Although I'd imagine that his deck in general is pretty reactive. Like, it just doesn't really do a ton.
I think it's probably like a worse mud.
Yeah, it's just like a worse mud deck. Just like sits there, doesn't really deal with permanence.
tries to lock him out.
Yeah.
Hey, I've got Contagion Engine, which you brought up on Thursday. I heard you.
I did.
And I got Spine of Ish. All right, I deal with my permanents if I need to.
Exactly.
It'll be good.
Looks like he's gonna counterspell Zini's Stoneforge Mystic there. And I think now Zini's hand is about just as reactive as his. It's just like he chose not to counterspell back, which is interesting. I know he has at least one Force of Will hidden in there. I guess he's just waiting to fight for something that he finds more appropriate.
Yeah, and guys, we'll get the Enchantress Words of Wild deck on next because God knows it's probably going to be interesting. Something tells me this match is going to go to time though.
I would be surprised if it didn't.
I would expect this game we're going to be 23 minutes left in the round.
Oh yeah,
when this game finishes.
If this game doesn't end with a Jace ultimate, then I will be sorely disappointed. This game is going to be entirely revolve around Jace.
Well, it looks like Peter's got 2 Supreme Verdicts in hand, so that's probably going to take I mean, right there, that's
going to take some time. Oop. Yeah. Here it
Oh.
is.
Whoa.
The Mind Sculptor showing up.
And I don't know if I like that. Peter did have... Peter already burned his counterspell.
Yeah, he counterspelling the Stone. I'm assuming you're going to suggest waiting until he had counterspell back up? Yeah. Looks like he's going to fetch here. I'm not sure why he's fetching. I didn't notice if there was a Brainstorm present.
Actually, I think he's at 17. Yeah, there's 3 fetches in the yard.
Yes.
He does have a Brainstorm, and it's either a Back to Basics or a Force of Will that's in his hand.
He definitely has a Force of Will.
Okay.
I figure he's just going to have to try and fight over this Jace here. And it's unfortunately, I don't think it's going to work out.
Just because everybody likes it when I do this.
I like that one.
Putting up the whiteboard.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We got a Stoneforge Mystic, Fetch Land, and there's that Back to Basics. I figure he's got to pitch one of these Supreme Verdicts to this Force of Will. If
Really?
he's going to fight.
I think I'm okay, holding it, because, I mean, that's one of Zinni's, very real, methods of attack plan. Is just
True Name.
True Name.
Yeah.
So why not have 2 answers that Zinni can't do anything about?
I mean, I don't know if you necessarily need a second. Ooh, pitching the Back to Basics. I don't hate that either. I think he's just recognizing that Zinni's going to have.
Zinni's got 3 basics out.
Ooh. I think I see. So Zinni has the Force of Will, decides he's not going to force back. I can't actually tell. He's flipping his cards pretty quickly.
He's got a Swords to Plowshare,
some land, and I don't think he has another blue card.
I think he might have a V-Click. Maybe.
God, I can't.
Maybe not. I don't know.
And it looks like Peter going straight for the Fate Seal.
Yeah.
Pretty aggressive. I think he wants to get this game over with quick and just to deny us that request of going to time.
Okay. Oh wow, there are 2 Worldgorger.
Yeah, I'm assuming Joe and Kyle.
Yeah, Joe and Kyle. Yeah. And it looks like Jeffrey K. No elves tonight, unfortunately.
No.
Yeah.
There's only one idiot who plays elves, and he's sitting right here.
And we appreciate that.
Oh, so that was his other blue card.
It was another. So is he okay? So he's brainstorming off of this.
I like this. I don't really like Peter going for the Fate Seal right away because of exactly this sort of thing. You don't really know what's going on in his hand. And I think you want to just go for value as quickly as possible.
But I think this is actually fine. I mean, Peter's Jace is ahead now.
Yes.
And he's got answers to True Name, and or anything that Zinni's going to be able to put on the table to pressure Peter's Jace. So I think Peter just wins this race.
It's certainly possible. This Stoneforge really helps.
Yeah.
And I think usually
fetching again.
He's Stoneforging.
Stoneforge. Okay,
for the
right.
Batterskull.
Yeah.
Usually, I think you're right in this scenario. I think usually Zinni's favored in a Jace fight because of True Name. But him packing both those Supreme Verdicts is just going to deter him.
Yeah.
So if Peter just wants to go straight for the ultimate, he might be able to just get there without much problem.
Yeah, and that's...
Although in this situation, the downside here is that if he Fate Seals Zinni, he's not really getting any value. Because Zinni has both the fetch land and he has Brainstorm last turn.
Sure. And he's just going to go ahead and try to get the Detention Sphere out there. Oh, and Zinni does not have another blue card. Zinni can't do anything about this. All right.
Just has 2 lands to go with that Force of Will and Swords to Plowshares.
Sure.
So this sphere is going to resolve, and he's going to get... Peter making a small mistake here. Didn't activate his Jace first.
Oh!
So he missed out on some value there.
Yep, alright. I'm an idiot. I keep thinking Detention Sphere is just like a better O-ring,
Yeah.
but it's not really.
Sometimes it can be a worse O-ring. once they changed that legendary rule, things got a little hairy, so to speak.
Yeah.
But this is a play that like used to happen in Standard a lot, especially, well, at least after they changed the legend rule. Like, you play like a control mirror or something, and someone plays a Jace, and then you play your Jace, and you got to answer theirs with Sphere, and you just forget. You lose yours too. Like you don't get to have your cake and eat it too.
I mean, like that's what we used to do that back when, like, in my most favorite is Standard, lower one shards with like Maelstrom Pulse. It's like, oop. The best Maelstrom Pulse I saw was a guy that was playing a Jund deck and had Demigod of Revenge, and he was playing against Red Deck Wins, and so Red Deck Wins had 3 Demigods out.
Oh my goodness.
And the Jund player had 2, and he Maelstrom Pulsed, and they all died. And it was amazing.
Oh my god! Let's just put 5 demigods in the grave. See, it would have been like nasty if he just went like Maelstrom pulsed them and then just played his own and just like got 3 of them back and 15 his opponent. Probably kill him. All right, so Zini drawing Snapcaster Mage. Finally, a non-land draw for him, but he's gonna have to work through this Batterskull and this Jit, and that's gonna be kind of frustrating. The Swords of Plowshare is gonna buy him a turn, but not quite sure how he's gonna be able to deal with these equipment. I'm sure he is. I know he generally packs some like 1 copy of Council Judgment or something like that, but I don't know how helpful it's going to be.
Yeah, and then M. Goldman asking for mud. I don't believe there's any mud tonight, unfortunately.
It is unfortunate.
Yeah,
Love me some mud.
Oh, I gotta get. That's what I wanted. That's why I had Master Transmuter up there. I'm gonna make blue mud work. It's going to work, and it's gonna be magnificent.
I'd love to see it. I want to see it just do its thing. Because Master Transmuter is just such an awesome card.
Oh man, did you get that with some Spine of Ishah going?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing.
So Peter gonna go to 20 after that Swords to Plowshares, on the Batterskull, and Zini looks like he's gonna resolve the True Name, which is nice. At least give him an answer to the impending attackers.
Yeah. It looks like Peter returning Batterskull to hand. I don't know if that necessarily makes that big of a difference.
I think he's just gonna... He might just fire off the Supreme Verdict this turn and just, like, get rid of that True Name right away, but...
Alright, so here's what would you do, alright? You play Quicken.
Ooh.
Okay.
Alright.
Activate Stoneforge. Trigger Supreme Verdict.
I see.
Okay. Then you get the Batterskull in.
Yeah, so you
after the trigger. Yeah.
So it's activate Stoneforge.
Yep.
Respond. Maintain priority. Cast Quicken.
Well, you can cast Quicken before.
Okay, yeah, sorry, my mistake.
Yeah.
We'll cast Quicken first because we gotta draw a good card.
Yeah. I mean, that could change everything.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
Looks like Peter electing not to cast the Supreme Verdict and just put in the Batterskull here, and it's just gonna mean that Zini is gonna leave the True Name back on D for the time being.
Which I think is fine.
Yeah, I mean, life totals are just gonna be fluctuating in like the 20 to 30 range for both players, maybe 10 to 30 range, just because of all the life gain between the Swords to Plowshares that just have no targets really.
That and Peter can put Jite on Stoneforge and swing in, and then like Zinni is going to either take 4 or he's going to put 2 counters on Stoneforge, and then when you follow that up with a Supreme Verdict,
it could be in good shape.
Yeah.
Looks like Peter's drawn at Jace though, and that's a pretty big game. I would be interested in just playing this Jace here with Tony on only 2 or 3 cards. I think that'll elicit Tony paying the alternate casting cost of 5 mana.
Well, actually, no, he doesn't need to. Or I guess he could also snap and then counterspell.
That's true.
Is Zinni going to go to 18 here off the fetch?
Did we miss? I think we missed we also missed an attack. So he should be at 5 lower from the Batterskull and the Stoneforge. The turn before he casts the True Name. Yeah.
So Peter's at 24 then?
Oh no, never mind. It got Swords to Plowshare.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got the 1. Yeah.
No, I didn't get the 1. All right. So I'll get the 1 now.
All right.
Because Zinni's fetched twice.
Oh, he's twice? Oh, okay, my mistake.
All right, there we go. Look at that.
All right, so Zinni drawing Ponder, looking for some sort of action. Finds Ponder, Thoughtseize, and Polluted Delta. Thoughtseize is kind of interesting here because I think he wants to try and just like if he could have gotten Peter to bounce that Batterskull there and try and snipe it, but I don't know if he has too many answers at the time.
Yeah.
Looks like he's just gonna Thoughtseize him and take that take the Jace.
Yeah.
I think that's perfectly acceptable. Get the Jace out of there right now.
No, don't do that.
Yeah.
No.
Turns out the card's pretty good.
It's bad.
Yeah, all right, I agree.
It's bad.
I changed my opinion.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
You presented a pretty convincing argument.
And then, unfortunately, you can't change the quality on the mobile streams because we're not partnered with Twitch. So we just need 1 million people to start watching us, and by 1 million I mean like concurrent 300 people, and then we can get partnered, and then everybody can change the quality on everything, and it'll be great.
So tell your friends, everybody watch.
Yeah, if we could get that consecutive, like the 300 people every time we stream for like 2 months, I'm pretty sure I could petition, because they said we were almost there last time I petitioned.
Seems good.
So,
all right, so Peter firing off that Supreme Verdict with the Batter Skull still in his hand. He had drawn the 3rd Jace for turn. Zini looks like he's just going to ponder. He's going to keep off the ponder. I believe he still has a couple Force of Wills. And yeah, here we are. The 5-mana Force of Will. Get out of here, Batter Skull.
Baiting, which I think I'm fine with, because then you're still left with Jace up. And, I mean, he can also... Yeah, he's still just fetching. Oh, because he's seen the back to basics in the hand now, so... Yeah. The jig is up.
I like the I do like leading with Batter Skull. I think in general Jace is going to be the more important card and how he wants to win the game.
Yeah, and Zinni does not know that they've got he's got the Jace in hand. So. All
right, so Zinni going to fire off the Snapcaster. I believe this is end of turn. No, main phase. He's going to ponder.
I figured it was going to be either ponder or brainstorm. So.
Seems great. Sees Verdict, Dig Through Time. Oh, Dig Through Time's a nice one. That's a pretty excellent draw.
Dig Through Time's bad.
I don't know, man. Have you ever cast it? It's pretty good in mud.
Yeah. Oh man, if I had reliable delve, 100%.
All right, there it is. The second 5-mana Force of Will of the game.
Jeez.
Proving to be pretty big. Like Zinni having a lot more lands is actually really important this game.
Yeah.
And looks like he's going to start beating down with the Snapcaster. Peter's hand is pretty anemic at this point. Just going to fire off the Swords to Plowshares because there just aren't going to be that many targets. And Zinni going to go to 16.
No.
No?
No.
No?
He doesn't get it.
Do you think Peter's ever going to cast this back to basics, or do you think he's just going to hold it?
Probably just, I don't know.
Like, he could just keep it as a blue card.
Yeah.
For future Force of Wills.
Which might be better.
And looks like Zinni's just going to end step this Dig Through Time.
Yeah.
I think I would have been tempted to just main phase this and look for a Jace. 3. Ooh, we got a Thoughtseize. There's a Jace.
There's a Jace.
Stoneforge Mystic. You got a lot of,
probably Jason Stoneforge, right?
Just take the 2 threats. I think it's tempting to take Thoughtseize.
No, he's like Council of Judgment, which is the only other one that I can think.
What do you think he's gonna Council of Judgment that Sphere? That can't be right? It seems. Oh no, he did take the Jace. I think he's just gonna keep the Council of Judgment.
Yeah.
For any future threats that Peter might have.
Does Peter's only got 1 Jace left in the deck though.
Oh yeah. And this brainstorm was just absurd. He found Force of Will, Dig Through Time, and Counterspell. Just amazing. And I think he's just going to jam this Jace here and going to be pretty far ahead. It's going to be really hard for Peter to come back from this.
Yeah. Mark, what did I say?
Jason,
23 minutes left in the round when this game finishes.
I think this game is going to be, we're going to have like something like 20 minutes left. And yes, Mango Jenkins, you were very wrong. I thought this game looked to be very much in Peter's favor earlier, but Zina's like come right back in it. Finding the, I think Peter sphering both the Jaces ended up being pretty good. Also finding the answers, having the Thoughtseize and just the counterspell for the Jace was great.
Thoughtseize was a very good draw. And so that's pretty... Zinni bottoming a Snapcaster Mage, but just giving Peter the ability... 3 Force of Will.
All right.
With the Brainstorm.
Right? I gotta say, these seem a little late. Yeah. Just a little late to the party there, Force of Will.
You can see Peter's not particularly happy. He's like, oh, God.
Wow. Man, just wishing he had one of those to turn earlier to deal with this Jace. Wow. 3 copies right on top. Alright, so let's see. So, Zinni just going to fetch end of turn. I think he's just going to keep going up with this Jace and try and end the game as soon as possible.
Yeah, no reason not to. I mean, Peter's got him under zero threat.
Yeah.
Looks like there was a batter skull on top. Zinni's also got a fucking Vendilion click in hand.
I appreciate that Zinni is targeting himself with the Fate Seal here. It's generally pretty low value to just start Fate Sealing your opponent with a fetch land in play, and given that his hand is just like a pile of counter magic, it's pretty easy to just sit there behind this Jace and semi-sculpt your draws.
Yeah.
Peter drawing for turn.
Was that a helm? Oh no, okay.
Another Swords to Plowshares. So his hand is 2 swords and a Supreme Verdict and a pile of Force of Will. Oh no, there's a Back to Basics hidden in there too, and a counterspell.
And a counterspell. Yep.
And I think he's just gonna let this click resolve and then Swords to Plowshares it. But I don't know. It looks like he's gonna force it because that Back to Basics isn't gonna be doing much.
Yeah.
And Zinni can tend to just let that happen. I don't think he cares very much.
And Jace going up.
On a Tuesday. Looks like this.
This is a Monday.
Sorry, on a Monday.
Jesus Christ, get your shit together.
And he bottomed that Stoneforge Mystic. It looks like Zinni has just his copy of Batter Skull in hand and Snap. Wow, yeah, his hand is just stacked.
Yeah,
it's just so
there's
good.
not. I mean, he's got one more take up.
Yeah, and
Peter's not going to be able to put any pressure on there. Like another Stoneforge. Peter's deck is just like I wonder if it was sorted before.
It seems like a lot of the same cards have just been stuck together in this instance. But yeah, it's 2 consecutive Stoneforges to the top. They were separated by 1 card. Peter drawing a really good card in the matchup, but not good in the face of an ultimated Jace in Lingering Souls.
Yes.
But I think it's going to prove to be insufficient in this case.
But Zinni doesn't. That's one thing Zinni doesn't know about. So I mean, like that will actually probably be pretty good. And oh, it just shows it.
Yeah,
all right.
Well, I did have this. All right, and that first game going to Zinni in a fairly Jace.
God damn it! They couldn't drag it out for another 2 minutes, so I'd be right.
No, unfortunately.
Oh my god.
Sorry. I'm certain this will be. Maybe this will just be a 1-0 win. This next game will go to time here.
I mean, it's very, very possible. Unless Peter turns into some weird, like, what if Peter did? Just turned into some weird, like, suicide, white weenie, aggro deck.
Yeah, his sideboard is actually 4 Thalia, Guardian of Thraben, 4 Flicker Wisp.
No, those are just all too slow.
Too slow?
I'm talking like Loam Lion.
Loam Lion, no forest. That's just it's basically a worse squire.
Loam Lion. No, he brings in a forest. It's all right. Loam Lion. He's bringing in some Dark Confidants. All right. He's got Death Shadow. He swaps out all of his duels for shocks. Get that life down low.
Ooh, there's some Thoughtseizes. Yeah. Thoughtseizes knocked the life down.
Exactly. And honestly, it's not like Zinni's deck puts a ton of pressure on there, so that's perfectly fine.
The decks are both equally reactive. And he's just going to board out those Back to Basics right away. No good in this matchup.
I think it's. I mean, if Zinni only has non-basics in hand, does not find a fetch.
Yes.
It's okay.
I agree.
And Peter goes Island.
Okay.
Simian Spirit Guide. Turn 1.
Do you think he main decks the Spirit Guides or they sideboard?
The Elvish are sideboard.
The
Simian are main.
Sometimes it's just only 2 though. When you need to go up to 6 Spirit Guides. Let's note that Lotus Petal is legal in this format, but we have chosen to eschew that because we're afraid of Chalice on 0.
Yeah, and you're bringing in the forest anyway from the board, so then you have the option of casting Elvish Spirit Guide.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
perfect.
So for the beats.
Looks like Peter was sideboarding in one of my favorite cards in this sort of matchup. One I haven't seen in a while in Notion Thief. Notion Thief is a nice one.
Yeah, I will bring up Notion Thief. I'm not going to bring up any of the other joke cards.
No, absolutely not. But Notion Thief is real sweet. This card is just, oh man, is it a beating?
Oh, apparently, fun little tidbit from Cook here. Apparently, there were more people for the Legacy Open this weekend than the Standard Open.
That makes a little bit of sense given that it's the Northeast. The Northeast is always a pretty big Legacy community.
Baltimore? Okay,
yeah,
sure.
Yeah, Baltimore's like a little, because like I know there's like the upstate New York guys are huge into Legacy.
That's what made GP New Jersey so fun.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was great. Just having like a lot people who just love Legacy being out there.
It was a little bit of a clusterfuck.
I would agree. I think
that was they needed a way bigger venue than there was.
I mean, it was also just a strangely shaped venue. Like, it was very long.
It was very long and very because like the middle section like jutted out and then it was like a big N. Like, I don't know.
Most of the issue came with the fact that there was one area that people were moving back and forth on that was like the main throughway, and that's really difficult with 4,200 people there.
Yeah. Well, no, 4,200 players, not even all the people that were there. Just like that were there for John Avon, for like people that are actually buying cards that are just kind of shitting around. So Peter leading off with an Island Ponder, almost the play that I predicted. Almost.
I think he's a Lingering Souls and a couple lands there, if I'm correct. Lingering Souls pretty sweet here.
No, it looks like he needs the lands, and he's got another Lingering Souls in hand. I think you keep that.
His hand looks pretty nice. I mean, he's got a Brainstorm, a Counterspell. Okay, if there was no blue source there, then I could see shuffling.
I thought they were. It looked like a couple fetches though. Like, and it looks like he's got a fetch in hand. So I mean, he has Counterspell, a Brainstorm. He's got the Batterskull in hand too. Yeah, I think that's a Flooded Strand.
Oh, I thought it was. I was confused. I thought it was Basic Plains, but looks like he just drew Basic Island off that.
Oh, maybe I don't know. Maybe it is a Flooded Strand. Yeah.
So Zini just gonna fetch on turn 1. I think he's just gonna fire off the Thoughtseize in his hand. just checking his phone. By the way,
I was half expecting him to see him pull up the stream.
If you don't mind, I need to just see what's in your hands.
Yeah, let me just go ahead and knock this out.
Right. Just real quick. All right, so look, it was a Plains.
So if Zini's going to take anything, I think he takes the Lingering Souls, right?
No.
No?
No, I don't think so. I think
you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Well, I mean, I think it's actually a pretty tough choice here. I know that Zini has a copy of Engineered Explosives in his hand.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, so he's going to have an immediate answer. I think it's between the blue cards and Batterskull. Of those, like, I think Counterspell's fine. It's not like a world-beating card. Brainstorm is a little unexciting right now because Peter doesn't have a fetch land. It's the card that's going to get better and better as the game goes on. Batterskull is like a really, really, really slow threat here without the Stoneforge Mystic, so
yeah,
it's not too exciting. And yeah, he's just going to take the Brainstorm. I think that's going to be the card with the most value later in the game, so you might as well just take it now. And
Jesus.
Peter, right off the top, as I say that, drawing Stoneforge Mystic.
Oh, you got to do what you got to do,
And Zini with basically just a pile of lands and Engineered Explosives in his hand.
And you were right, that was a basic Plains, so that makes a lot more sense. Also, Cook pointing out that the pairings board, the furthest one away, was a quarter-mile from from the main stage.
A quarter-mile?
That makes sense. That place was huge.
Oh, it was huge.
Well, it was huge, but it was narrow, and they still needed more space.
Yeah, that's the only time I've been to like a really big convention hall, and it felt like it was just long. Like usually they're like more square than rectangular.
It felt like I was walking in the mart.
Yeah. Exactly.
And this is a building? I just walked 2 blocks.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck.
Yeah.
All right.
So Peter just going to play his land and pass. Just going to put the Batterskull in end of turn. And Peter, once again, just going to check the stream. See what's going on here. Peter just blatantly violating tournament rules. Doesn't care. Ooh. Perfect. What an excellent card here. That Batterskull is getting out of here.
Yeah, so what Zini's doing here is in response to him activating... to Peter activating his Stoneforge Mystic, he's V-clicking. Basically, and we'll bring up Vendilion Click, but Vendilion Click says, look at target player's hand, you may take a card and put it on the bottom of their library. If you do, they get to draw a card.
Yeah. So
instead of him getting to put Batterskull in play, it's not as bad because he did have another equipment.
Yes, it could have been much worse.
Yes.
And especially GTA, like, the nice part about having Lingering Souls in your deck in this kind of matchup is that it gives some credence to GTA. GTA in general is pretty poor against other blue decks. It's not pretty low impact, but when you have these Lingering Souls tokens, they're able to, you're able to actually get an advantage and provide some sort of clock. And Peter's just gonna bash with this Squire. Just get in there. It's not really gonna be doing much, and Zini's just gonna block.
Trade, sure.
I like that. It's like a little tempting to maybe Explosives away the GTA and the Stoneforge, but I don't think the Click's just not going to do anything in the face of these Lingering Souls.
Yeah. Do you I wonder if you? So he's got a misdirection. Yeah. That's not going to help against the engineered.
Nope.
Was it engineered explosives or plague that you saw?
Explosives. He's got,
Oh, okay, I do see it. Okay.
Yeah. Zini's hand
Is that an innocent blood?
It is. It is a copy of Innocent Blood, which is pretty poor against Lingering Souls, to say the least.
Yeah, I don't. That's weird.
Innocent Blood, rarely seen. INNOC.
I thought I had the other one. Okay.
Missed the end.
I thought I had the two ends. Damn it.
Work on it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Innocent Blood, while a card that I've really enjoyed casting, is just, yeah, real bad against the one card make 4 guys, and they're all the same.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that Zinni let Peter go ahead and get some counters on there. I guess he could have flashed back and whatnot, but oh, and he does have a true name in play. Again, that doesn't necessarily do a ton with the whole, flying thing.
And I think
but
Peter's just gonna counterspell this too. I think he's gonna try and race with because he has Batter Skull in his hand, and just try and race the GT.
Oh, Zinni is.
Yeah.
But if he gets 4 counters on it, that's not gonna matter.
Yeah.
He just
Well, but the 7 life a turn, if he puts the Batter Skull on the true name, is going to be a lot. It's just like several turns down the line.
Yeah. But he's gonna have to find another true name.
Yeah.
Since that meant counterspell.
I mean, Zini knew about the counterspell, so I kind of like that. This is interesting. I saw Peter sideboard in this sort of Feast and Famine, and he chose to get GT first. I feel like I would have gone for the sword right away.
Yeah, I agree with that. Now let's see what he's doing with these counters. It looks like he pumped.
Yeah.
So he's going to take, what, 6?
6 damage, yeah.
All right, so Zinni's at 9.
I like getting aggressive here. The counters...
He's at 89.
89. I like getting aggressive with GD counters in this matchup. There aren't that many creatures to kill. You're not going to really be gaining life. It's about the best the counters are going to be is 4 damage.
Yeah, and I guess if he does play Batter Skull, it's not going to be blocking it.
No.
So you're still going to get the 4, and then you can just, after combat, kill it.
The nice part about Peter having Back to Basics in his deck, whether or not, just like for Zini to know about it, is that Zini, the nice part for Peter is that Zini has to play around it, even though Peter sided it out.
Oh, and that's what did get discarded from Thoughtseize, actually?
It's off screen. It was the Brainstorm.
Ah.
He ended up just taking the Brainstorm. Ooh.
Okay.
Stoneforge missing a pretty good draw here. And Peter's gonna have to make a decision over whether or not he wants to
misdirect it.
To misdirect it. I will misdirect that.
So but he's tapped out. All right, so it was 2 lands and a Snapcaster off the top for that Brainstorm.
And he's
still say misdirected.
Well, I'm not against it. It's not a great use of misdirection, but what can you do? And looks like the Stoneforge is going to resolve here. I believe Peter is without a counter at this moment, and he's just going to fail to find, and then play the explosives for 1.
And did we miss another attack?
No,
we haven't.
We missed a fetch.
Okay.
So yeah, Zini should be at 8 right now. Peter just going to play the fetch land that he put on top with the Brainstorm. His hand is just Snapcaster, Jace, Misdirection, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not sure. This misdirection is kind of interesting because generally I'm not in love with Force of Will and the blue mirrors.
Yeah, and I think maybe he's just trying to, he's like, you know what, we're going to counter some shit, and, this is just, I want to make sure I win these counter wars?
I guess so. I mean, it does work very well in that regard. Usually Force of Will, being down on cards, you can't draw too many Force of Wills in these sort of matchups, or else you're down on cards, you can't keep up if someone lands a Jace and just is able to Brainstorm away your stuff. But you have to leave in some copies specifically for Jace, I think. It looks like Peter's just going to flash back the Lingering Souls. I don't think he's going to kill the Stoneforge Mystic, which is interesting. Zini, again, didn't search. Didn't look for anything. So you have to assume that he's drawn the Batter Skull.
Yeah, he's got it in hand. Yeah.
And I mean, it's not that Peter doesn't have very many answers to the Batter Skull right now. But I think I'd be tempted to just kill the Stoneforge.
Yeah, and I think he's thinking about it. Oh no, all right. Maybe his plan is just bounce with Jace.
I think he just wants to beat down with these Souls tokens, and he might be able to just race the Batter Skull in that case.
Well, he can play the. Oh, all right. Well, this works too.
He's just gonna get aggressive with the Snapcaster Mage. He's just gonna try and target the Brainstorm.
Yeah.
I think this is a little aggressive. I would look to get a little bit... I guess he's not going to get too many other better targets with Snapcaster. But he's just gonna put back a couple lands.
And I'm trying to think. So maybe in this situation, you go ahead, you use the 2 counters to try to get Stoneforge. So he activates, put Batterskull in, then you can play Jace, bounce the token, and then you can swing for a good chunk.
That's a pretty nice play. I definitely like doing.
Oh, and you still have 2 mana up to equip something.
Yeah.
So
I don't hate that. I think I would do this after attacks though. Like, if he's gonna do this and put in the Batterskull, that's fine. He's just gonna eat your Snapcaster,
which is gaining him 4 life, which is relevant.
Yes,
so
I agree. He could just kill this Batterskull with the counters, but then he's just gonna put it on he's gonna put it on the Stoneforge. So,
well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you do the 2 counters beforehand to kill the Stoneforge, and then you get to swing in for 1, 2, 3, basically the same amount of damage. Plus, Zinni's got nothing at that point.
I don't hate that.
So
I actually think that's I think that would have been a better play. The nice part is that he gets to see, I don't.
Oh, and they're just gonna pick it up.
Interesting.
So, because he would have been at, he had to discard there, so he took 4. So actually that balanced out with the life gain, but then he took another, 5? So he was Zinni was at 3.
The other issue is that this sort of ended up being the same thing where he didn't need to use the counters right away, and so Zinni's just left with the Stoneforge. If he goes to equip, Peter can just kill it in response, and then he's basically dead at that point, facing down both the Jace and the tokens with both the equipments. So I think the plays ended up being basically the same.
Well, I don't know. I think it was just riskier. I think it's much easier just to go ahead and you're guaranteed to kill the Stoneforge, and you're guaranteed to get the token off of Batterskull.
And you don't give him 4 life.
Yeah, and you're not giving him 4 life, because if he doesn't do that, then he's dead.
Yes.
Well, he's not dead. He's
dead next turn.
He's dead next turn.
Yeah. So I think your play would have been better. I agree. Like, it's just it's definitely just a little awkward. I think Peter just didn't think about it when Zinni failed to find. Like, as soon as he failed to find, I think the first thought should be, okay, he just has the Batterskull. Move on from there.
Yeah, football. Thank you for following.
Thanks.
This in fact not football though.
No. This is. I mean, in some parts of the country, it can be considered football. Maybe not this country.
Well, it's the world. Yeah, some parts of the world they refer to it as football.
Yeah.
But that's how they spell magic. It's football.
It's also not an English word, and it's not even with normal Arabic characters. It's like Cyrillic characters.
Yeah.
It's very different.
It's like wingdings.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
how they spell it out. It's
football and wingdings. All right, so it looks like we have Brainstorm from Zinni on turn 2. Yep. He's got Supreme Verdict, Engineered Explosives, Council's Judgment, and a Dig Through Time. I didn't see the last card, but his hand looks pretty good here.
Yep. And Mastodon, thank you for following. Much appreciated.
Woo! I love that both players elected to keep in Supreme Verdict because they each have cards that they have a little bit of trouble dealing with. Like Zinni has trouble with Lingering Souls, and Peter has trouble with True Name Nemesis.
Yeah. But I mean, which is like completely fair, but like I don't know if I like Supreme Verdict, because as long as Peter's not playing sloppy, he's only going to ever have half the card.
Yeah.
So then you're trading
a card for half a card, which is generally a bad place to be in this sort of matchup. You want to be 2-for-1s are at a premium.
Yeah, and I mean maybe he kept in all of his Force of Wills, because I mean we saw like one of them, and then maybe it's just another blue card to make sure he's always casting it.
Yeah. Peter definitely keeps in at least 2 or 3 of his Force of Wills. I think he might even just keep all 4. When he was sideboarding, I think he immediately cut the back to basics, and I'm assuming he cut maybe some number of Swords to Plowshares. Although I like Swords. Like Swords just in a Stoneforge Mystic Mirror, just being able to answer a turn 2 Stoneforge is really nice.
Yeah.
And Zinni's just going to let Peter's Stoneforge resolve. I'm assuming this is going to get Batterskull.
Well, he went for a G-Take last time.
It's because he had the Batterskull in his hand already.
Yeah, but I still actually like getting Swords.
Or getting Sword of Feast and Famine?
Yeah.
I don't hate it. It's either, I think it's either Batter Score or Sword of Feast and Famine.
Well, like, Feast and Famine, once you have it on the table, like, you're golden.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, then anything that you're playing, you're just going to equip. Like, Batterskull, if he gets it on the table and then he gets rid of the token, which he has, you've already seen Engineered Explosives and Jace from him.
Yes.
So he has a myriad of ways to do that in order then to get, because you also have to assume your Stoneforge is probably not sticking around.
No.
So then you're having to spend 3 mana to bounce the Batterskull and then another 5 to replay it.
Yeah.
So it just, like, doesn't necessarily seem like the best.
Yeah, you tend to have like pretty big mana disadvantages when it comes to Batterskull and these sort of matchups. There's so many time walks for it, and you just end up like throwing away a lot of value. And it looks like Zini with a pretty solid end of turn play here in Vendilion Click. Vendilion Click is just a great threat.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's bad.
Bad magic.
Ooh, but here's Peter with the Brainstorm. That's going to be able to protect his Batterskull, and that's pretty nice.
Yeah, so like I wonder if you're.
Yeah,
Peter would have been able to do this play though, even if Zinni waits for an Stoneforge activation, like we saw at game 2.
Yeah, and I think in general, this is like you're like not too sad about this if you're Zini because it means your opponent just like has a bad Brainstorm. Like he's not gonna be able to shuffle him. He's just like hiding 2 good cards, and he's not gonna be able to get any value off of his Brainstorm, which could end up mattering if this game goes quite a bit longer. And it looks like his hand is just a bunch of removal. Just a couple of Swords of Plowshares, a Supreme Verdict, a Counterspell, and 3 lands. And he's going to take the Counterspell. I think Zini knowing, obviously, that the Batterskull is either the top or the second from top card. Almost certainly the top card.
And actually, I'm kind of surprised Peter didn't hide the Counterspell.
Wait, this is...
Wait.
No, that's bad. Oh, they got it. Yeah. People make this mistake so often, even though like Vendilion Click has been out for like 6 years. They just like immediately think that
it's more than 6 years now.
Is it longer than that? Wow, that card's
It
from
was
like
2008.
Wow, 6 or 7 years. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's a little crazy this still happens, but you know people make mistakes. Not a big deal.
Gibson, we'll get Words of Bear. Words of Wilding on next camera.
We have a real shortage
next round,
of bears.
Geez. Captain QC, as you can see, Pino is actually in chat. So, Frank G, that's my plan for tomorrow. Is I'm gonna get all the last week's videos and tonight's up tomorrow. So it should be good.
All right, so that Vendilion Click just getting Swords to Plowshares there. Zini going, I think he's going to 22 from that because of he had fetched earlier.
Oh, all right. And
Peter
who's going to 22?
Zini should be at 22, and I think this is Peter's 3rd fetch.
Okay.
So he should be at 17.
Yep. And Ipoa, Peter got clicked and put his card in the graveyard instead of on the bottom of the library.
Yeah, it got fixed, though.
Yeah. But he didn't take a hit from click?
He just
swords it. Okay.
Yeah. Swords it and then put in Batterskull end of turn.
That's a bad play.
I gotta say.
Hashtag fetchlands suck.
Most plays will be bad if they involve fetch lands because fetch lands do in fact suck.
It's just bad. I actually had like an intelligent conversation with Glacier about this, about like how fetch lands might actually suck, just because of like they're the most overpowered cards, but they really slow down the game and yada 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 yada.
Oh yeah,
and he took that way more seriously than I was actually hoping for.
Oh no, I actually think it's pretty serious as well. I could talk for a while about what I dislike about fetch lands because there's quite a bit of negativity that goes into it.
It's the life loss, right? That's the only real bad thing.
It's ridiculous. Have you read Floodplain?
Yeah.
I'll lose life then.
Yeah. Terramorphic Expanse? Why not? Let's do it.
All right. So Zini just gonna flash in a Snapcaster and chump block. So Peter will gain 4 here, and Zini just gonna cast a Supreme Verdict.
I think Peter Mind Break traps this.
That would be surprising, but awesome. I wouldn't expect it.
He goes He goes in response. Brainstorm. Mind Break trap.
Ooh. No.
You have to brainstorm. Yeah. All right, whatever. We can go Quicken, Ponder, Mind Break trap.
Wow. So Peter
going deep.
Peter's hand is just like 5 really good threats right now. It's just it's really shaped up since Zini saw his hand. This is going to work out pretty well for Zini. He has the Council's Judgment in his hand, so he gets to just get rid of that Batterskull, no problems no questions asked.
I think Peter votes for his Underground Sea.
He could vote for the Germ.
Oh, he could.
That's pretty cute.
Yeah. He's like, I vote for this.
And this is... Okay, there we go. They exiled it. Yeah, but Peter's hand is Lingering Souls and 2 copies of Jace, along with Swords to Plowshares and Supreme Verdict. What do you think he does here? You think he just plays the Lingering Souls or the Jace?
I almost okay. I almost just go Lingering Souls, honestly.
Just start getting some attackers in there and make Zini react to that.
Yeah, and then like, because like the longer the game gets dragged out, like, I guess Peter's worried about time, and he could theoretically win still. Like if they play quickly and he just ups Jace.
Yeah. It's tough to say. I mean, like, landing the Jace is pretty important as far as this whole like interchange goes, but ooh, Zini with a pretty good answer here in dig through time. Hopefully he could find. I think you're just gonna look for a Force of Will. Although 2 for 1ing yourself here is pretty poor given the quality of Peter's hand, and he's not gonna find a Force of Will. He's just gonna find a couple Brainstorms. Thoughtseize.
And apparently Peter had enough mana to cast Mind Break Trap.
Oh yeah, it's only 4 mana.
Yeah, he actually did have enough. So, but we're doing this the fun way.
Yeah,
right?
I agree. Yeah,
quick and ponder, free.
Look, man, mana efficiency.
Because he's...
I guess it's mana inefficient to do that. Just throwing cards away for nothing.
Well, no, he's they're all card. It's all card advantage neutral because they're both replacing each other.
Good point.
The Mind Break Trap's not, but you've at least you're seeing some stuff on the top of your deck. It'll be good.
All right, so Zini gonna Force of Will, find a blue card to pitch that Force of Will in the Brainstorm off Dig Through Time, and Peter just gonna follow up with 1/2 of a Lingering Souls. Lingering Souls, the one downside to it is that it's pretty anemic without equipment in this matchup. Like it's the perfect card to go with complementing your equipment, but pretty low impact otherwise. I think that's why I would have been more interested in leading with it. Just.
Yeah.
I think I might have just, like, thrown the whole card in there, but I guess that plays really poorly into Engineered Explosives, which he's already shown you.
Yeah, yeah. So Zinni's going to play his Jace of his own. Peter does have another Jace he can follow back up with.
I wonder what he's going to do here with the Jace. Like, he's just going to go up. He's going to try and win the game. I mean, with so little time in the round. Oh, see, speaking of the equipment, finds the GT on top and immediately bottoms it.
Oh. Nah, you know, what can you do? Oh, and there's a counterspell. Little late to the party.
Yeah, as usual for Peter here.
Oh, no, the three Force Wills on the Brainstorm. Yeah. And Rounded Pegasus, thank you for following, and also for not perpetuating the media stereotype of, you know, like the thin Pegasus.
Yeah, I mean, like, a Pegasus can look however he or she wants to look.
I mean, and they're not. It's not real. It's not realistic.
No.
With those, you know, the size 1 Pegasi.
Yeah, have some respect.
Exactly.
Ooh, so Peter, unfortunately, he's, in order to attack this Jace, he decided to flashback his Lingering Souls. I think a bit of poor sequencing here. I don't really like that he brainstormed with his Jace after flashing back the Lingering Souls. I would have just look at my cards first.
And there's another. So Peter's got an Engineer Explosives of his own in hand, and he's also got a Notion Thief.
Notion Thief is nice.
I wish if Zinni had gone for Brainstorm there.
Would have been pretty good.
Winning!
Yeah. All right, so it looks like Zinni just going to Fate Seal Peter, leaving it on top, and cast Stoneforge Mystic, getting Batterskull, as well as deploying this Explosives. Explosives is going to be just fantastic here. Like, you want to be doing exactly what you said earlier. You want to trade 1 card for 1 card with Lingering Souls. Trading for half of it is always really, really, really bad.
To be fair, I don't think there's any more time in the round. I don't see the time the turns die yet.
Yeah.
So I might have jumped the gun by about a minute when I started the round, but it wouldn't be that much.
No, I think despite what it may say, 15 minutes there is close to 0 time left in the round at this point. I'm going to ignore the Pegasus banter going on in the chat here. So Peter got to figure out what he wants to do here. He's just going to jam at the Jace, and Zinni just going to crack the Explosives before any shenanigans, before he loses any loyalty on his Jace. He's just got to decide what he wants to follow up with here. He's just going to Brainstorm with the Jace, finding land, Swords to Plowshares, and another land. He has no fetch land here, so he's going to have to keep these cards. But I think he's going to try and sneak in that Notion Thief.
I mean, it's really his only path.
You gotta do it, right? Like, you gotta, you're behind on the board. Like theoretically, Zinni with a combination of Batterskull and Jace is going to be ahead in this sort of race. So there's a Swords to Plowshares. That's pretty important.
Yeah. So this is okay.
So the Swords of Plowshares there is going to be really impactful because it's going to stop Zini from being able to hard cast Force of Will and put Batterskull into play.
Yes.
He can only do one of those two things next turn, and I think it's going to be hard. Like if he decides to just jam a Batterskull, then things could not be great if.
Well, and Peter's got the counterspell.
Yeah, Peter has counterspell. Peter also just can bounce the germ.
Yes.
But I think Zini's just going to start. I don't even know if he's going to brainstorm.
I want him to so badly. Okay, no, it just fades to it.
He just wants. I think this is.
Yeah, that's the time. Or the turns, excuse me.
So Zini's not going to have enough time to ultimate this Jace, so I'd be pretty surprised if this match doesn't end in a draw with both players at such high life totals. It's a little unfortunate.
Mangaro, how you doing? He's another Stoneforge.
Stoneforge failed to find pass. And then
that's suspicious.
Oh yeah,
that he's failing to find, you know?
A little suspicious. Yeah. Especially because he has already fetched the Batterskull. Where's your second Batterskull?
Just saying. You don't have two?
No. So there was a point in time where that was what some Esper players did. For the sideboard, they would just have a second Batterskull.
I've got a second Batterskull in Mud.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
I mean, well, you don't have Stoneforge. Sometimes you need a second Batterskull.
There's the Supreme Verdict from Peter. This is going to end in a draw.
Assuredly, yeah. There's no way either player can end the game from this spot. I mean, even with I don't even know. I didn't even notice if Peter activated his Jace. I think he might have just neglected to.
I don't think he did.
I mean, it doesn't actually matter. But Zini with the casual wave of the hand there, I think they both realize that this is just gonna end.
Yeah. This is where you ask your opponent for a friendly concession because I feel like I'm ahead of here.
But you can't even make the argument for this one,
can't.
Yeah, there we go. There's the Force of Will on the.
Yeah, I don't like throwing the Notion Thief out there. I would have waited till this turn because then you could make a little bit more of an argument, like, hey, like I'm doing good things here. Like,
yeah,
I'm ahead. I'm gonna be ahead on card advantage. Like, and especially as he's drawing this Pithing Needle now off the Brainstorm, like you'd be able to play that and be like, hey, your Jace can't even do anything. I've got this Notion Thief.
Yeah.
Or the Batterskull can't even do anything, and you just kind of do some things.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I agree. No, I think it's just going to be impossible for one player to say they're ahead of the other in this situation. Like both players have Jaces that they can't activate. Why are there? Never mind. I'm gonna ignore the.
Yeah, no. If you drew, you should have played faster. Phil Nofumberman.
That is probably something I've said.
You did. I think you said it on stream on Thursday.
I did.
You went on like a rant about it.
Yes, because Tony came in and he said, I drew. And he drew versus the Worldgorger deck. The end of the, he drew after ultimating Jace with Rest in Peace out, 7 cards in hand. And he's like, I drew. And I was just like, I was stunned. Like it was a very winnable game that just could have happened if he was making his actions faster. This is a game that like this makes a little more sense, you know. This is effectively a mirror.
Should have played faster.
I agree. Like play faster.
Should have played faster.
If you ever want someone to tell you to play faster, I'm here for you.
He's at most tournaments. It's not hard to find. If it's an open in the Midwest, you're probably there.
Yeah.
And if it's a GP, pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, I'm just there.
Except on the West Coast.
Yeah, I can't make it those.
Yeah.
No.
But East Coast, Midwest,
yeah,
he's gonna be there. Find him. Or let me know, and I'll make sure he just goes and stands behind you whenever he's done with the match, and just yells at you to play faster.
I'm always ready to call a judge for you to watch you for slow play. you other person. It's just awful. I've gotten like it's funny because I play like a lot of really slow control decks, so
it's good that way. I'm gonna go make sure that we get WUBRGxyz.
WUBRGxyz? All right. Yeah, I am the only fast play countertop miracles. I don't particularly love the deck miracles. I've gone on tirades before about how little I enjoy the card since it's Dividing Top. Just a miserable Magic card as far as tournament procedure goes. But I would be surprised if I drew playing that deck. Grantfly, is that it? Grantfly, you have to look at the cards. It's an important aspect of anything. Always look at the cards first. But yeah, I agree, Apoa. Doomsday is awesome. Doomsday is a little loose in Legacy. You have to work really hard to kill your opponent with Doomsday. You have to play like all these suboptimal cards like Shelldock Isle. it's a little more difficult to kill your opponent. In Vintage, though, it is fantastic. It's just such a powerful deck. I think Steve Menendian said it was the best deck in Vintage. It's just not playable at tournaments. You can't play Vintage Doomsday in tournaments because you cast Doomsday and then you spend like 10 minutes trying to figure out a pile. So yeah, like, sorry, I'm just talking about how Doomsday is awesome in Vintage, but really kind of loose in Legacy.
That's fair.
Oh, it's a sideboard card? Yeah, sure, but it used to be. I remember seeing it main deck before. I remember my friend was telling me he played against David Ochoa once with Doomsday, and in the game, Ochoa took 15 off of his Dark Confidant because he had Emrakul in his deck. Literally reveals Emrakul to Dark Confidant and then kills him. Like,
that's good. I mean, like, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, might as well. I'll take 15. That's fine. Just an insane situation.
So Simon playing Simon Camero tonight.
Simon's playing Simon?
Simon is playing Simon.
What does Simon say?
Right hand blue.
Right hand. Okay, right hand. In case you're wondering, there is a twister board down here. I'm winning.
Are you?
I think so.
I thought I was winning.
Well,
I'm very flexible.
Yeah, potato. So we got Simon versus, who is that? Is that Joe?
Nah, that's Mr. Ned.
Mr. Ned.
Simon beat Joe round 1. I didn't think that would happen.
I mean, he does have tutor for Rest in Peace, which is pretty good.
All right, I guess when you're playing against Worldgorger, you say you can't have a graveyard. It's a little rough.
Yeah, Sterling Grove being able to just demonic tutor for the best sideboard card against your graveyard deck.
I would like to say that you could probably get a little bit of Snapcaster beats in there.
Ooh.
So
the 2 Snapcaster mages in the deck.
I thought Kyle has like 3 or 4. I thought.
Oh really? I thought it was only like 2. I thought it was like 2 Worldgorgers, 2 Snapcasters, or something along those lines. I like playing a little more because 2. I mean, you need at least 2. Like,
sure.
2's the bare minimum, but
yeah.
I don't know. I'm not an expert on building the Worldgorger Dragon deck, but it seems to me that you wouldn't want to draw too many copies of that card.
All right, and so I found out.
World.
That's what it says.
Shh. You put up the dragon, or you putting up words?
Words. Oh, God damn it! You're fucking with my brain.
I am intentionally telling Mark the wrong cards to look up. It's working out great.
Yeah, and so I found out words actually in the board. Unfortunately, not in there. Simon said that he will board it in. And he's playing against Bug, so it's not actually the worst.
I mean, isn't it the worst?
I don't think it's not the actual worst, because you just flood the board.
Yeah.
And you have blockers for, granted you give them an untap at this point instead of just Words of Warring.
I guess so.
I don't know what you ever actually bring Words of Wilding in against.
I honestly couldn't tell you either.
I mean, Simon's a good enough Enchantress player that I respect that he's got a reason to actually have it in his board.
Yeah. Rounded Pegasus, David is not here tonight, so there are no pod players in the room.
There aren't, unfortunately, no Glaciers.
Nope, not a Glacier to be seen.
Him and Schaefer are kind of taking breaks from Legacy, from my understanding.
Yeah, for a little bit. I mean, it's hard, like, unless you're really you gotta really love Legacy to be playing it when there aren't too many big tournaments coming up.
Yeah, and that's kind of what Greg's thing was.
Yeah.
He's just like, I'd much rather focus on Standard and Modern, just because those are the more supported formats at the moment.
Exactly. I mean, there aren't any PPTQs in Legacy, as they say.
I'll take a Dragon Ball's PPTQs in Legacy.
That'd be fun.
I'd do it.
So is Ned playing Bug Delver?
I have no idea. It just says Bug, and I forgot to ask him.
I think he's playing Bug Delver.
I'm 90% sure he is, but
I think I saw a checklist card. So
okay.
So we got a turn 1 Deathrite, which is going to be one of the better.
There's a Disfigure. Disfigure's not normally in.
He's been playing main deck Disfigure for a bit.
All right.
He's a man who enjoys killing his opponent's Delvers and Deathrite Shamans. I remember because Ned would tell me this before I played against him with Elves, and then I get to just just cast enough Elves so it doesn't matter. Just cast Glimpse of Nature. It's great. All right, I'll stop talking about Elves. So Simon, he's got the Wild Growth on turn 2 on his plains. Wait, so he's playing like a. Oh yeah, never mind. He always has the red splash for the Words of War.
Yes.
So we got
which is like a legitimate win condition.
Yeah. Words of War is nice. It doesn't like you don't need to deal with the combat stuff to kill your opponent, unlike with Bear Words or Words of Wilding, as they say.
Yes.
Look at this! Look at this nice beta wild growth.
And we got a Sterling Grove as well.
Yeah. The fun part about STE, the fun part about the Enchantress deck is that they play all these like goofy cards.
But they're all super synergistic.
Yes, very much so. And like for instance, this the mana in this deck is really important. Like, it's really, when you're playing Enchantress, what you want to be doing is you start getting, once you're ahead on mana using either Wild Growth or Utopia Sprawl, you start snowballing with your draw effects. And once you're able to just lay out all your cards and get ahead, things start going well for you. And Sterling Grove plays an important part because it protects your mana pieces.
Yes.
Against cards like Abrupt Decay, which are in Ned's deck.
Very much so. Also, apparently Grandfly is David. Did not realize this.
He told me to look at the cards, so I figured out it was him. Yeah, Pot is definitely a slow deck. He was telling me about that. He's gotten a few draws in his lifetime. Oh yeah, look at this. Deathrite Beats. This will probably be one of the few times Deathrite attacks this matchup, given the presence of Elephant Grass.
Yeah, and the Abrupt Decay on the Sterling Grove though. So it's good things.
Yeah, he wants to get that out before Simon finds some sort of powerful card. Simon playing City of Solitude, rarely seen, and following it up with Miri's Guile.
Like, that's why I like the Enchantress, because like always lots of stuff to bring up.
Yeah. There's a Wasteland from Ned, following it up with a Hypnotoric. Hypnotoric, perfect here. Just getting rid of the last two cards. Eidolon. That is an Eidolon of Blossoms.
Oh, I know. We were talking about this the last time Simon was on camera. Simon hated Eidolon of Blossoms.
Oh, did he?
He just like spoke nothing but terrible things about it.
Yeah.
And then we saw him playing a card. And it was, we laughed a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it show up basically as a one-of in these Enchantress lists, as like your ninth Enchantress. I don't know why you would need 9. Like, I've seen the decks play like Green Sun Zenith and stuff like that. I don't think you would. It just seems a little too much. It's good against like Containment Priest, but I don't even know if you need that. So Simon just gonna Miri's Guile into a Banishing Light and just get rid of that Deathrite right away.
Also, little sad though with the Banishing Light. Much prefer my O-Ring.
Yeah,
my dragon going through a Stargate O-Ring.
Yeah,
can't beat it.
It's pretty awesome.
Can't beat it.
And they're following up with Sterling Grove. Pretty good card here. And Ned's hand is pretty poor right now. He was about to fetch because I think he was considering.
Oh, but he can't because the City is Solitude.
Yeah, he cannot cast any spells because it is not his turn.
Yeah.
Neither player can cast their spells right now on the opponent's turn. It is a symmetric effect. And it's kind of unfortunate because Ned's cards right now are very poor. He has a Disfigure, which has no targets. Well, the one target is in Simon's Graveyard.
Yes.
And there are no Bears main deck.
He could have. No, he could have, in response to Banishing Light, disfigure his own. That's right.
That's a legal play. I think with Abrupt Decay in his deck, he doesn't really need to do that. Yeah. What I'm curious to see is if Simon's going to crack this Sterling Grove. I guess it depends what cards he's left on top with the Miri's Guile.
I don't know if you crack it yet. I think you just because leaving it out there forces Ned to burn another Abrupt Decay on it.
Yeah.
And I think you just kind of sit back and like.
Just
you have Miri's Guile, like find something you need. There's an Elephant Grass, like you can just kind of sit behind a lot of these things for a while.
And this is perfect. He found a fetch land, so that's going to let him fetch away the couple. He has a couple stinkers on top of his deck right now. He has an Elephant Grass, which isn't really relevant in the face of Ned's no creature draw.
I think he's keeping it now because there was a
there's a Utopia Sprawl.
Yes, and he also has a little number of little angels.
Oh dear.
Some angel makers.
Oh dear. That's his. Does he play that? So he plays that and Words of War.
Yes.
As his
primary win conditions.
Yeah, David. Bearscape. I thought when Mark came down here and said there are bears in Enchantress, my first thought was Bearscape. So I don't know what that says about us. That we would. We would want there to be some Bearscape action here.
I mean, sometimes it's good. I mean, like, any good bear's got to have some scaping going on.
Yeah.
Because then they're just going to get unruly,
you
know? And, like, nobody wants that.
All right, so Ned going to ponder into Abrupt Decay. Again, only has one legal target for that Abrupt Decay right now. And I think I would fire it off. I would consider firing it off in the upkeep, but Simon just letting it happen because he likes the cards on top of his deck. Yeah, you see Sigil, Elephant Grass, Utopia Sprawl. I imagine he's just going to draw either Sigil or Sprawl here.
And its abilities. So he doesn't even get a chance to... He can't even activate the Sterling Grove because of his abilities.
Oh, yes. Never mind.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and I was going to say, I made that stupid suggestion of playing in his upkeep when he can't cast spells.
Yes.
So, forgetting about the City of Solitude real quick. But yeah, so Simon just going to keep the...
Oh, no, he fetched.
Yeah, he fetched
after
drawing.
Okay, after. Okay.
And now here's Sigil. Sigil is going to be really hard for Ned to beat. I don't think he has any outs to this card. Certainly not main deck.
No. Well, maybe a Maelstrom Pulse. There might be a singleton Maelstrom Pulse floating around.
Oh, but Ned's hand is just horrible. It's 3 counter spells, and a disfigure. Is that a solitary confinement?
Yeah, it is, and a Words of War, but he doesn't have really the engine yet.
He's not going to play solitary here. He's just going to play Elephant Grass. I don't even know if I would play the Elephant Grass. It just, I guess it just makes, he just wants to make a 4/4 now and start beating down.
Yeah. Yeah. And we'll bring up Elephant Grass. Elephant. Oh, yeah, but now we waited too long, but I'm still going to say my joke anyway.
Go for it.
I got a book, and all the participants in the book, all the characters are very scaped. It's full of bears. Got it?
Nope.
There's a running joke on the stream about bear erotica.
Ah, that's right.
Yeah. God damn it, Phil.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mark McManus. Bear joke extraordinaire. Oh, my goodness.
They're all very scaped. That's what I was talking about, bearscaping and...
Moving on. All right, so Ned, I think with every mana-producing land in his deck and play, drawing the 3rd Force of Will, I think he's just going to show his hand and concede.
Yeah,
he's done here. Those are just absolutely abysmal draws. I
like them.
Yeah, this is like the fun part about playing, the sort of goofy combo deck in the room. Like, he's a combo deck that, theoretically is not great against Abrupt Decay and Force of Will, but there are a lot of redundancy, and Sterling Grove just ends up doing a ton of work.
To be fair, though, he is, like, on any given day, Simon is, like, 5 to 10% of the meta. So, like, you probably should
jam some back to natures in that sideboard. Just get them.
I wouldn't be surprised if he has a back to nature in the sideboard.
I would.
But it looks like there was another.
I'd be incredibly surprised if there was a back to nature there.
Are you kidding me? People, like, back when I was actually playing regularly, people sideboarded all kinds of shit for fucking mud. So fuck that.
But do you think that's a reflection more on you than anything else? Like everyone's just like, you know what? I want
to fuck Mark.
Yeah, I want to make sure Mark knows that if he shows up with mud, I'm gonna destroy it. I'm gonna make his life horrible. Just everyone shows up with 7 null rods and a bunch of can you ever beat an energy flux? Like, energy flux is just like the meanest possible card. It's like, well, my sideboard is 4 Rack and Ruin, a couple Pulverize. In case anyone's wondering what energy flux does, it is Mark's favorite card. Well, let's get the Masks version in so they can see what the hell it does in English. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Not a fan. Nobody's ever played this against me though. Thankfully,
it is a really uncommon card.
I've had people play the one in
Kataki?
white Kataki. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is Kataki that is harder to remove and makes you pay even more.
I mean, honestly, for like mud though, it's about the same to remove.
Yeah.
I mean, like
sense.
they're
between like all the permanent destructions.
Yeah.
And like, to be fair, like, this card is strong. This card's really strong, but Metalworker effectively counters it. Right?
Yeah, as long as but it still slows you down because you can't just shit out your hand.
Nope.
But it doesn't. But it also doesn't stop Metalworker from just going infinite.
Yeah, exactly.
And Swainler, thank you for following, much appreciated.
You can cast more than one spell with the city out, Mango Jenkins. You can't. It's not the same. It's not Eidolon of Rhetoric. You can't cast spells on other people's turns.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. City of Traders, you just can't cast spells or abilities. You can't cast spells or play abilities.
Yeah, I got confused there. There probably is Eidolon of Rhetoric.
Banishing Light versus O-Ring. I like O-Ring better.
I mean, I'm trying to think of a situation like it would only have to come up. So if he had any sort of way to sacrifice his enchantments, then
O-Ring is way better.
Yeah, exactly. I guess he just doesn't.
It doesn't matter unless you have a blink effect or something that you can do with the trigger on the stack.
And just like looking through his deck, I think the only thing that sacrifices is Sterling Grove. It's really not much else.
Yeah. But I do agree. See, Cook's on the board. O-Ring's strictly better. Also, Cook did mention earlier, apparently, a PPTQ cannot be Legacy.
Yeah, they can't. No, they're not allowed to be Legacy. They can only do, because they don't want it to be a format that's not a Pro Tour format. and that's the downside. I mean, it kind of stinks.
I mean, it makes sense,
yeah.
but
I think it. I would be. I'm happy it's like that. I don't think Legacy is a good, like, super competitive format. I like that they are Legacy Grand Prix because they're because they're so much fun. But
like, there's 3 a year. I mean,
but I think you don't need more than that. And
3 a year globally.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
Yeah, there's like one in Japan this year. There's one in Paris.
And there's one in Seattle.
Seattle, yeah. Which you'll probably find a lot of us there.
Yeah, I think we're planning on going to the one in Seattle. So
it's probably not going to be driving to this one.
No, probably not. Not. Actually, I mean, honestly, we shouldn't have driven to fucking Jersey.
Nope, should have flown.
That was miserable.
I flew. It was way better than driving. I've made the drive to the East Coast multiple times, and it's just stupid.
I mean, I'm from North Carolina, and I've definitely done the drive down to Charlotte a good chunk.
It's not great. I want to point out, Vesti, I also am not a huge fan of pile shuffling. It is a massive waste. It's like, it's usually good when you're shuffling to do like 2 different methods or something like that, just to diversify what your cards are doing. But pile shuffling is just,
Mark, you should have
a waste of time.
Wait, I don't understand what you should have a kind of ticket and alert to followers.
A kind of ticket and alert to followers that remind the other podcasters that to thank new folks.
We do. It actually pops up on screen. I have a little thingy that pops up on our screen saying a new follower, and it pops up in the directly above the chat box.
Yeah.
It's just that when you get like Phil and Greg in the booth, they're just terrible people.
We said thank you to like at least a couple people.
They're just terrible people. No, trust me, I tried it.
Yeah.
Ah, God. Oh, Crimson's gonna be in Seattle. That's pretty sweet.
Nice.
Yeah.
We hope to see as many viewers of the stream as possible there.
Well, I can't. It doesn't matter because I can't even. You won't even wear a shirt because you're like, I'm on Nerd Rage.
No, I'm not. I don't do anything. Look. Yes, I agree. Yeah, pile shuffling calling it pile shuffling is a misnomer. It is just counting your deck, and that's what it's most useful for. Like you do that when you want to make sure you have 60 cards.
Noodle, thank you for following. And I like Grant's suggestion, equipping casters with shot collars to know to thank viewers.
Yeah.
I agree. See, Phil's just buzzed, so... Congella Derpy, thank you for following.
Sorry, I was just convulsing violently here because of the electric shocks. All right, looks like we're getting started here. Ned with the turn 1 death right.
And looks like...
Simon fetching immediately. Let me fetch that forest. Nice part. Enchantress always has a wealth of basic lands, which is just great against this bug deck. Looks like his hand is. Is that a replenish in his hand?
Oh, I hope so.
I think
I imagine it. Yep.
Yeah, it is definitely a replenish. I have not seen that card in quite some time. Wow. Replenish, aka the better open the vaults.
Yes.
As I've thought about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
not
card
as good as Second Sunrise in eggs.
Certainly not in eggs. Yes, thank you. But replenish was a standard staple with Opalescence.
Yeah.
And it was just a very, very powerful card.
Yeah, and I would much rather spend 4 mana for replenish effect rather than 6 mana.
Yeah. You get the bonus. You do get the artifacts back, but
Oh, and there's a Abrupt Decay taking down the Mary's Guile.
And then he's just going to deploy a second death right here. Very little downside to playing out multiple creatures in this.
Oh, is that a Groundwell?
In this matchup. Wow, that is a Ground Seal.
Ground Seal. Excuse me.
From Simon, and that means those death rights are just squires right now. They are Sanctuary Cats.
Sanctuary Cats.
Yeah, 1 mana 1/2.
But what's
no abilities?
Yeah. But I mean, that's Squire's got no ability. Why are you going with Cat? Are you jumping on Stefan's train or something?
No, so Sanctuary Cat is 1 mana. And those are 1 mana.
Squire's 2 mana. That's right. Sorry.
Yeah, you should be sorry.
I'm sorry. I feel really bad.
Yeah. So
about my life and just the choices that I've made.
Ooh, so
I'm not going to let you commentate now.
Fine. I'm just trying to talk
everything's making me regret. Oh, honestly though, like this isn't. Did we miss 1 attack from the?
He did not attack. No.
He did not attack?
No, he used it for mana last turn.
Ah, okay.
And so Ned brainstorming, seeing surgical extraction, which has no text.
Nobody uses the damn Tarmogoyf die. I'm gonna go yell at him.
All right. So we have Ned untapping here. Tarmogoyf appears to be a 3/4 land. They're using it. So I want to point out, Mark about to yell at them for doing something that they are doing. Alright, so Ned just going to Wasteland and get an attack for 5. And just trying to deny Simon of as many resources as possible. How's it going, Mark? Are they using the die? They are.
Yeah, I know.
The die.
I know. That's why I was like...
Alright, so...
It's very sad.
Alright, so I think Simon's just going to fire off an O-ring, or a Banishing Light, on this Tarmogoyf right here, and just kind of protect his life total a little bit. Ned with a pretty poor hand at the moment. He has Wasteland and Force of Will. Thankfully, he has that Misty Rainforest, because I know the top card of his deck is Surgical Extraction, which can't target anything because of the Ground Seal.
Yeah.
Alright, so instead we get the value, we get the Vanishing Light, draw a card, and then get rid of that Tarmogoyf.
Is that Presence?
It is. And yeah, note that he draws a card because he has his one of his Enchantress effects in play.
Yeah.
One of the 8 engine cards in the deck, so to speak. 9, because we have that Eidolon.
Yeah. And you said he's got an Abrupt Decay in hand, though?
No, he has Wasteland and Force of Will.
Okay.
So pretty poor hand, actually. Ned just really hoping to draw, maybe an Abrupt Decay. Abrupt Decay would be a good draw. Brainstorm, just...
So if he draws if he draws Abrupt Decay, what do you go after the Ground Seal and start going a little?
I don't think so.
Or because that also you said Simon's got the Surgical Extraction.
No, Ned shuffled it away. It was on top of his deck.
Okay.
I think if I were Ned and I draw Abrupt Decay, I'd probably just go after the Banishing Light and just try and kill Simon as quickly as possible. It's not a super fast clock because he doesn't have a way to grow. Oh, there's a Goyf. That's an excellent draw.
Sometimes you.
But yeah, it's just gonna be beaten down with these 1/2s, which can't do anything.
But Simon can. I mean, without Ned not having like a way to deal damage, other than like really through creatures and stuff. Simon does have a Elephant Grass in hand.
Elephant Grass is just gonna be huge this game.
I mean, the Tarmogoyf's still gonna be able to attack, but
yeah, Death Rites will not be able to. It's gonna cost him 2 mana. Thankfully, he has a couple extra mana right now. And then Simon, yeah, he's going to play that Elephant Grass, floating a mana. And it's kind of hard to deal with the Enchantress deck once it just starts get going with him with his presence. He just draws so many cards. If you leave a presence unchecked, yeah, there's an Argothian Enchantress right there. Note, I think is Enchantress's presence a come into play effect?
No, they're both cast.
They're both cast. Okay,
that's why Eidolon and Blossoms is considered so bad, is because that is a
come into play. Yeah, so it's much worse against counter magic.
Yes.
Ned drawing an interesting card here. Just drew a Tassiger. I think he's just gonna. I mean, he can cast it and attack with Goyf.
But the ability's kind of mute.
No. The ability will still work. Because it's choose. It's not. It's not a target.
It's not targeting.
Yeah. But its ability will still not be. There aren't too many good cards he can get back here in the face of double Enchantress effect. Yeah, so Ned just going to bash for 3, putting Simon to 6. And he's... Ooh, and there's a Sterling Grove. This is starting to spiral.
And he's got another Sterling Grove in hand.
Yeesh.
So how much damage did he just take off that Goyf? Another 3. So he's at 6. Little clicky click. Here, you click it. I'll put it in.
Teamwork. I don't know why.
Yeah, done.
All right. And then Simon. Ooh, that's the hard lock right there. There's the Blood Moon.
God.
My God. Blood Moon is basically going to be game over here. Ned can still attack with his Goyf. Like Simon does have to find an answer to it within the next turn. This is lethal. Next turn.
Yeah.
He's gonna go. He's going to 3 here.
Just always sharing our little clicks. I like it.
He's pretty close. Yeah, Simon does still have the Argothian Enchantress at least to chump block with, but if Ned draws something like Liliana the Veil, that might be problematic. And he's just going to let that Elephant Grass go.
He's going to replenish here?
Yeah, I think he's definitely going to replenish. He has a few other cards in his hand, and he has like plenty of draws. Yeah, he's multiple Utopia Sprawls that he could cast here, which are effectively free and draw him 2 cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's 1. Draw a card. Draw a card. Ooh, Serra Sanctum. Serra Sanctum just a mountain here, though. A Utopia Sprawl and Wild Growth are the 2 main mana engine cards here. Utopia Sprawl lets you choose between green and white and red.
Does Words of See, look, actually, Words of Wilding
would be better here.
would be great here.
Well, he can still. I think he has enough mana where he could just shoot down the Goyf.
Well, that's what I was wondering. The target creature or player. So,
Yeah.
And Goyf is so.
Goyf is a 3/4, so he only needs 2. So he's gonna tutor with the Sterling Grove,
Yep.
and I think he's just gonna find either another Banishing Light or something of that effect. Rhyme Dryad. Oh boy, that's a.
Wait, what?
Dryad.
Dryad, Bryad.
Oh no, he's getting something way meaner. He is getting Sphere of Safety.
Yeah, something tells me Dead's not going to attack anymore.
Yeah, so let's pull up Sphere of Safety here. This is a really interesting. I'm pretty sure he's only playing 1 in his deck. He's getting a couple draws. Sphere of Safety. So Ned only needs to pay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He only needs to pay 9 mana to attack with his Goyf.
YOLO. Got it.
I mean,
Ground Seal is still out.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So
that was a lot faster than I thought it was going to be.
That was just a beating. I mean, Simon's cards just matched up so well with what Ned's presented that game.
Very, very much so.
I think Ned's draw was pretty bad. Like, his cards just didn't seem to do very much.
Yeah.
Like, I'm kind of surprised at how bad Deathrite looked there. Deathrite looked horrible.
Yeah, but that was because Ground Seal was kind of there.
Yeah, the Ground Seal just completely shut it off, and like, it's the interesting part about the Enchantress deck is that you know I think your instinct when you see it is that it's weak to Abrupt Decay, but you need to Abrupt Decay so
many things. Yeah,
like all right, if you don't Abrupt Decay that Ground Seal, then you let the Enchantress's presence live, or you let the he has snapped off the Abrupt Decay on turn 1 on that Miri's Guile, and that just to stop Simon from sculpting his draw, and then he ended up just like not having Deathrites at all. Like they were just gone for the rest of the game. And even then, like, Deathrite is pretty poor against the Enchantress deck because it can't really eat any of the spells. Like it can only really eat lands, things maybe you could Thoughtseize like a Nargothian Enchantress, but you don't really want to gain life.
Replenish.
Yeah, the Replenish. I mean, Thoughtseize is the Replenish. All right, so Mark, are you gonna go up and see if we have another match?
See if I can get somebody
All right. Phil, has anyone told you sound like Michael from Rooster Teeth? I don't know what that is. So no one has told me that. I will look that up at some point, but no, I have not heard that. Let's see. Any links to that Enchantress list? No, there are no links right now. I can ask Simon to post it to the Facebook page. It's pretty sweet. I mean, he's got a lot of nice cards in there. He does. I don't know who this is. I can't look this up right now. Oh wait, whatever. I'll look it up later. Totally sounds like Michael. What is Rooster Teeth? I'm completely lost here. Hopefully we should get another match here. See if we can get some more legacy. It looks like we have some people moving around up there. Kind of hard to tell. Comedy Gaming Company. Huh. Yeah. Oh wait, sorry. I meant to say, Turn 1 Goblin Guy. We could get Simon to post his list to the Facebook page. I know he has like just a few of these like really goofy cards like Sphere of Safety, like, but the deck just does like really mean things to Delver decks. Phil, what's better, Forest Walk or Snow-Covered Forest Walk, and why? Okay, so in general, I find Snow-Covered Forest Walk to be more valuable. It's really hard to fight against snow-covered forests. They're just generally, you know, it's harder to interact. And snow is a characteristic of cards that, you know, it tends to be a bit more elusive. I don't really care about beating forests. You don't need Forest Walk. You know, forests are forests. But Snow-Covered Forest Walk has quite a bit more value. Let's see what else. So Rooster Teeth made red. Oh, okay. I have heard of red versus blue. That makes sense. But I will look into that. I want to hear this guy's voice. I want to see what my doppelganger sounds like, or my voice doppelganger as it stands. But I think it's worth talking about this Forest Walk versus Snow-Covered Forest Walk here. There's a lot to figure out. There's a lot of things to consider here. Our vintage scene is budding. Man, vintage is awesome. I wish there are a few people here who are like big into vintage. Like I know Andrew Bowman, who plays lands all the time on stream. He loves vintage. There are a few other guys. I'm not sure, like Jason Huang, who played Doomsday on stream on Thursday. Is another big vintage guy. I think there are a few others. think Jason Jacko, another guy, but I don't know too much about it. I don't have the cards to play that vintage, but I've played it before, like just proxying up decks, and it's just so much fun, man. Vintage is just so cool. You get to do just crazy stuff. It is super interactive most of the time. Like sure, you could kill your opponent on like turn 1 or what have you, but I think the format is just incredibly deep and interesting. Let's see, Rhyme Dryad versus Shanodin Dryads. I'm gonna look these up. I'm gonna put these up on here. All right, so we got Rhyme Dryad, which is a 1-mana 1/2 with Forest Walk. Oh man. All right. Versus Shanodin Dryads. I don't know, man. Rhyme Dryads has that extra point of toughness. I'm kind of leaning towards the Rhyme Dryads here. And again, Snow-Covered Forest Walk, just much better. And look at how weird this art is. What is going on? Like, her hair looks like it's covered in snow. That is so strange. Huh. I think I could see Rhyme Dryad getting a bit more play. If I was playing elves, someone just like kills me with a Rhyme Dryad, you know, I wouldn't be sad about it. That Dryad is frozen and loving it. I don't know if I agree that this Dryad is loving being frozen. She definitely looks like she's, she is frozen, but it looks a little concerned.
I'm a little concerned.
Mark is a little concerned. Do we have another match?
No, not yet.
All right.
Not yet. It's not. Why is Rune Dryad?
Rhyme Dryad.
Rhyme Dryad.
Well, we're talking about the benefits of snow-covered Forest Walk versus Forest Walk. I'm sorry. I've lost control of the stream. There's nothing I could do.
Oh, and that's why it was Rhyme Dryad.
This is the Rhyme Dryad, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
It was Rhyme Dryad until that dang elephant grass showed up. It was a good time.
It's a good thing.
I would love to see. Is Worldgorger.Enchantress an 02 or an 01?
01.
So can't even block death, right?
No.
Man, that would be really sad for.
And Golgari Charm does some work.
Golgari Charm does do some work. I know Ned has that card in his deck. I'm a little surprised he conceded, like right there. Maybe there's just like no way. There's like too many cards. Oh, never mind. He's Blood Moon. He's Blood Moon. Never mind.
There's I don't think there's enough things going on.
Rounded Pegasus. I hear what you're saying, but I'm just like can't believe that Vintage Goblins is awesome. I assume it is interesting, but man, it's so hard to play creatures that are pretty like not blue and weak in that format. Like I see that so people are playing Monastery Mentor in Vintage now.
I believe it.
That card's awesome.
Oh, I mean, it just like mox. Hits you for 50.
Yeah. I mean, you can play
Mox, Berserk, win?
You don't even need Berserk. You just like play blue-white cards. Just play a normal blue-white deck, but just play Monastery. Just like cast a Monastery Mentor at some point. Cast Gush. Make a guy. Pump my Monastery Mentor. Mox. Make a guy. Pump my Monastery Mentor and my token. Like
this is loose.
Gets pretty out of hand.
Loose.
That seems great.
Loose.
Great. The best.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were saying Swift Spear.
No.
Well, Mentor seems nuts,
Mentor.
too.
Yeah, Mentor. Yeah. Mentor seems... I want those tokens. I want those Prowess tokens. Prowess is so good with all the artifacts.
Nah, you don't need it.
I love it.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's bad?
It's bad.
If you were to play Vintage, would you play... I'd
play Shops.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, absolutely.
Like, really?
Instantly play Shops.
Oh, man, I had the version of Mud that I've made in Modern.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And it was doing well online, and then I just got did not do well last Wednesday.
Yeah, you got hosed, right?
Yeah. That was not a great show. But if I had played Tezzeret, I would have been fucking golden.
So you I remember I saw your deck because you had it had the classic Mark McManus deck building feel to it, which is to say that the sideboard had some cards that only you would play, like multiple copies of Elixir of Immortality.
Well, the sideboard for that deck was just because I didn't give any thought, and I wasn't I thought I was gonna have to be commentating on Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
And so I just had the 60 cards, so we were like, what can we put in here?
Okay.
Yeah, and the Contagion Engine was main deck. Yeah.
Again, Mark McManus invitational card, Contagion Engine. It's that or Blightsteel Colossus.
I mean, yeah, but like Greg actually misspoke. He said my favorite card, Blightsteel Colossus.
He did.
Top 5.
It's top 5?
Top 5. Favorite one is probably Master Transmuter. I love that card.
It's really cool.
I
I remember I first saw that card doing work, and it's like activating it once, and it just like takes over.
Yeah, I mean, if you can actually get some like things going, it's good.
Yeah,
Kind Killer, I do love. I do love. And hello, how are you doing?
Tezzeret in Legacy Affinity is pretty sick. You can cast that card on like turn 2, with just one Soul Land and a Mox Opal, and you're already there, or like Glimmer Void. And usually Tezzeret in in Legacy Affinity is just lethal on turn 3. You just like plus it once and then just kill him. And this is like without cranial plating. It's pretty intense.
If you play Tezzeret in Gold anyway, yeah, fair enough. And then I'm trying to... Whose site looks like it came from the 90s? Not the WUBRG site, because that is responsive.
Is it?
And they did not have that in the 90s.
Nope.
No.
Didn't exist at all.
No, it didn't.
They're garbage websites in the 90s. A lot of GeoCities.
Oh, I had plenty of GeoCities. It was like, I was all about some GeoCities.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we never updated the round, too. We're just, look at this.
So loose.
It's so easy sitting on the couch and yelling at you guys.
Greg was like reasonably good.
Oh no, he was on point. That was like the best I think I've ever seen Greg. Yeah.
I mean, I was nudging him for a lot of the life tools, really, but
he's got an issue. This is where it's good because
man, electric shock.
Yep. Reborn Legacy. Thank you for following.
Yeah, appreciate it.
That's how you pronounce YT.
Sorry, I apologize. My fellow commentator has trouble with letters.
No, that's correct. I saw Okabakalaka in chat earlier, and I forgot to.
Ocho Bakalakato.
It's actually like OOO Cobalt OOO, but it's I'm pretty sure it's Okalakalaka.
Thoughts on Belcher in current Legacy? Belcher will be the same forever, in my opinion. It's a deck that can run the right matchups and just win. But you just have to deal with the fact that if you sit down against someone who has Force of Will in their hand, you will have a hard time winning. Like, even if they like I know Belcher has draws theoretically that are pretty good against Force of Will, I think. But usually it's like, you know, if you
theoretically,
yeah. But like you go like Manamorphose and they force the Manamorphose and you're just there.
No, you don't even wait. No.
Manamorphose is usually the Desperate Ritual or something like that. Whatever lets them get to the mana. It's like you stop them at the ritual.
You just counter fucking Charbelcher.
Well, they usually play Empty the Warrens. You stop them before they get to 4.
Oh, well, yeah. Sorry.
Like if you Force of Will, whatever, like the Seething Song. I think they usually play Seething Song or something like that, or like the second Desperate Ritual. They're probably just dead.
I'm looking at you.
Oh, I know. I had to look away for a second. I was just like, what does that look like? Is that creepy as hell? And it is.
Hey, I'm being voted for Commentator of the Year.
Commentator of the Year.
That's right.
All right.
Cedric Phillips, Patrick Sullivan.
Get out!
Eat your hearts out. All right.
You guys got nothing.
Nothing. Oh man. I still, my dream, have one of them just be like, yeah, come on and do a stream.
Oh my goodness.
And I'll just be like, oh boy, it's time for new wardrobe. I'm gonna go to Destination. I'd immediately go out to Destination XL.
So you got a whole plan.
Oh man, I'd be to the nines. I don't know if I could do it though because I'm a little too ridiculous.
You are pretty not out of control, but out of control.
Yeah. So conflict me on stream, like compare me on stream with me setting up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say me setting up, little OCD, a little bit of a dick.
Yeah, I mean, you want things to be a very specific way. You know, you got to make sure the camera's right.
I know
you got to make sure
works.
things are taped down. Yeah, you have a process.
Yeah, and then here I'll rub you sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I never know what to expect. I come down here to commentate, and it's just a different thing every time.
Yeah. No, I mean, Cedric Phillips and P. Sully, I don't think I hold a candle to them.
They're very good with what they
yes
do.
they are. Yes they are.
And it's okay, what's crazy about how good they are and how good the SCG streams are in general is that you watch Wizards of the Coast streams and they're significantly worse.
Oh yeah.
And that's like really embarrassing to me.
So Greg and I, and I'd like to, especially after I get my new place and we'll have more room,
Mm-hmm.
Greg and I have talked about hosting the GP streams.
Yes, yeah.
And then commentating over them.
Yeah, I know Michael Jacob has done that in the past on his stream. Like, he's just I know specifically because they eliminated chat for like the official Pro Tour stream.
Oh, did they really?
I believe so. Like,
Oh.
they're doing it on the Cover It Live. They're not doing it in the actual like Twitch chat. So Michael Jacob was like, "Fuck it, I'm having it on my Twitch channel. You can all come here. We'll chat here."
Yeah.
Which, you know, it's got to happen somewhere. But yeah, I will definitely be at the SCG Open in Chicago this summer. I'm so pumped that there's one that's going to be here.
Oh yeah.
I'm thrilled. I know.
Do we know where it's?
Yes, I know where it's going to be.
Where is it?
The Accelerated Center in the suburbs. It's not very far at all. It's like right off Willow Road.
What, is it off a line?
No, it's off the Kennedy. It's in Northbrook.
See, I'm surprised they didn't do it in fucking
Rosemont.
Rosemont.
It's expensive. It's like really, really expensive.
Yeah.
Cryptics, I don't think GB coverage is terrible. I think there are specific tandem. There are people who are not ideal.
Ignore
basically.
this guy.
This guy?
Yeah, Curse Catcher's.
I know who that is. Yeah, I know immediately who that is. Like there are specific things like where commentators in the GB streams in particular just aren't familiar enough with what's going on.
Yes.
And that really, really frustrates me as a viewer.
And that's why, like, we've talked about, especially now that I've got Fridays free, I've talked about doing, like, standard streams on Fridays.
Yeah.
But definitely. So, like, Legacy, I have a general idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Modern, I have a general idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Standard, I'm like,
Yeah, it's you know, it's like what happens when, for instance, Randy Bueller does like Modern. He just doesn't know what the cards do sometimes. Like too often, I would say.
Yeah.
Or like you have like like Marshall Sutcliffe is really, really good with limited, but he's really lost when it comes to constructed formats.
yeah, but, and like my thing is like, especially like on the not knowing necessarily what the cards do, I feel like they don't like if I make a mistake on a card, like I immediately like backtrack and apologize and then explain what the card actually does.
Yeah.
I feel like they just kind of like they just ignore it. They're just like, nah, that one just that's kind of like Battle of Wits, except it's green and blue.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
like, no, it's not like that. Also, Battle of Wits is blue. Hi, Sydney. From San Francisco.
Oh.
Sydney, are you at GDC? Because that's
Yeah, they're at some developer front end developer conference.
that's
Yeah.
awesome.
I
mean, look, I don't want to like shit on them too hard because the job is hard.
No, it is.
Like
it's very. That's why like I joked like when we had the round wrong and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
It's very easy like when I'm sitting on the couch and like looking up because like when I look up very quickly like I know what should be like on the stream and like
exactly
kind of paying attention to stuff like that. But when you're actually here like you're having to like especially here. That's why thank God we got two people and you. Like, because you really should have one person looking at the match the entire time, commentating what's going on in the match, the other person paying attention to the chat, and then
we got that going.
we got that going. It's good. It's nice because then I can actually kind of read what's going on. And it is pretty difficult when you're trying to be entertaining.
Yeah. Like with like the official Wizards Coast, like you don't necessarily have like chat interaction type things. What you have instead is like a lot of other moving parts.
Yeah.
Like you have Twitter. You have just like. You have more production things going on.
Yeah.
Like we're two guys sitting in a basement with a small camera and a microphone. They're like,
don't ruin the magic.
Sorry.
We're gonna have a tablet soon.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Sydney's hooking us up. But anyway, I hear a lot of moving upstairs. I'm gonna make sure they haven't started yet.
Sure.
And I'm gonna throw somebody on there.
All right. Nacho, there are no elves tonight. No one really has been playing elves. I don't know if I'm the only one who has the deck. But yeah, I have no one asked me for it, so I haven't lent it out. It doesn't seem like anyone wants to play any Glimpse of Natures or Natural Orders, which is unfortunate because that deck is great. It's funny. Like there are there's some pretty tough matchups though up there for elves. I played against the Worldgorger deck the last time against Kyle, and I lost with an Abrupt Decay in hand because he Cunning Wished for silence. That was sweet. I did not expect that. There is no mud. There's no painter. We have blue, white, red Delver, lands, Esper, the couple Esper decks, Sneak and Show, Bug, Delver, Enchantress, Bant Maverick, 2 Worldgorger decks, and yeah, that's it. Yeah, no burn. Yeah, Nacho, I can post the list. It's pretty stock. Like there are like not too many crazy cards in it. Yeah, I guess we should put up a background, but I like the idea that it looks like we're just stuck in a factory. You know, we're two factory workers who just really like Legacy. Glacier, do not tell them. Do not tell them that this is our background. I want them to see it. Let everyone know that our fake background of cardboard boxes is there for you, the viewer. Let's see. We're doing Chicago and Indy. One person in Chicago owns the Elves deck. Only person in Indy. Yeah. Oh man. Everyone going to SCG, going to like Legacy tournaments in Indianapolis are hilarious because it's the only place where I can expect the mirror. Yeah. Like when I think. Let's see. Not last SCG in Indy, but the one before, I was playing Elves back when it was the old open format, and I played in 9 rounds. I played 3 Elf mirrors. And this is the same tournament where the entire top 4 was Elves decks. It was just, it's outrageous. People really, really love Elves in the Midwest. People like, you know, Riley Curran, John Johnson. There are a lot of just really good Elves players around. The deck is just great. Yeah, the entire top 4. But Elves is great. I really enjoy it.
Yeah. So, odds are we're not going to get another match. But we're going to get Worldgorger on
Sweet.
Camber for next round. So, you know, that's a thing.
Yeah.
What did you say to chat that it just blew up there for a quick second?
Oh, we're just talking about decks. Talking about some stuff.
Talking about deck. How big's your deck?
It's pretty big.
Yeah?
No, 75 cards. Same as everyone else. Anyway.
I only play Battle of the Wits.
Mr. Glacier, shut up. Mr. Glacier, Elves' worst matchup, I would say, is probably Reanimator. Storm is a really horrible matchup, too, but there are, like, times where you can get through it. I'd say Tess is worse. But, yeah, Reanimator's basically unwinnable. Belcher's basically unwinnable. What else? Like, basically, like the faster the combo deck, the more difficult it is. I do not think Miracles is that bad of a matchup. Like, you can keep up with what Miracles does, and you can play as many hateful sideboard cards as you want to deal with it. Yeah. Like, I don't necessarily. Yeah, you can at least get them with Deathrite Shaman, but if they board in like Show and Tell, you just can't win if they put in an Elish Nord. Zombardment. I can imagine Zombardment is a pretty good matchup for Elves. Like, outside of the card, Goblin Bombardment. Like, Bloodghast is horrific against Deathrite Shaman. But, I don't know. I would never want to play against... I played against Storm with Elves. I have never won. I've played against Reanimator with Elves. I've also never won. Those are the decks I, like, least want to sit down against. And I've never played against Belcher, but I would imagine I would never win.
With Elves?
Yeah.
You could totally win.
Yeah, if they have a horrible hand, or they just make like
Thoughtseize. No. Game turn 1, you go
Thoughtseize,
Bayou, Dark Rit, Thoughtseize.
I do play a couple Dark Rits in my sideboard.
Do you really?
No.
It's like
God.
I was like, Phil, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
I don't actually think Progenitus is very good against Show and Tell. I think, in general, what you want to do against Show and Tell is just kill them with idiot creatures. Like, what you end up doing in that matchup is you just, like, bring in all your hand disruption, and you just attack with your idiots. Like, Deathrite Shaman just, like, ends up being a pretty good clock. You play, like, a couple guys to play around. Like, you play only, like, 2 guys at a time, play around Pyroclasm. It's really not that bad. Show and Tell's tough. Like, you're definitely not favored. But beyond that, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Yes!
And
right there. That is how I feel about Progenitus.
It's great when you... yeah, so somebody should run probably, what is it, Elvish Piper, right?
Elvish Piper.
Why don't,
Electric Shock.
Q, thank you for following, and Crimson, I did see that. I apologize. Phil's just very long-winded.
Yep.
But no, if you honestly want me to just sign a card, I will 100% do that. A penis might get drawn. I don't know. Here's Elvish Piper. See? So, I don't want to hear your bitching anymore.
Maybe, yeah, so
that is an elf, alright?
Doesn't get Abrupt Decay.
Doesn't get Abrupt Decay, and gets that nasty Progenitus out of your hand.
See, I like...
You know what it also gets out of your hand? Crit Hoof.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Alright, run one of.
One Elvish Piper.
You got Green Sun.
Green Sun Zenith for Elvish Piper. Alright, elf players
This is
in the
tech.
chat. Elf
All
players
right.
in the chat. If you are sick of drawing Progenitus, I know I'm not. I love drawing Progenitus.
This is it.
Then this is what you need. Yeah. I should say, World Spine Worm, I definitely played in the past. You can beat a lot of weird things with World Spine Worm. That's a much better card against Sneak and Show. You put that in play.
Elvish Piper.
You can put it into play with Elvish Piper. Yeah.
No.
No, you like that more than
Yeah,
World Spine
you
Worm?
show and tell in Elvish Piper.
That's not so bad.
And then you just say,
Yeah.
and then they go to do something.
You say you might as well play Quicksilver Amulet. Quicksilver Amulet is not an elf.
Yeah.
I would not suggest that.
Yeah. Duh.
You need to be.
Duh.
You can untap this with a Kyrian Ranger and just do it
value.
again. 2 times in 1 turn. Here's what you do. All right, here's the winning play. You go
Rookthar.
You go
into.
Oh no. Here we go. Here it's. You go turn 3 Elvish Piper. Turn 4 activate.
Turn 3 seems a little late.
You could. Turn 2's hard.
Okay. All right. Sure.
So you go activate Elvish Piper. Put in Crater Hoof.
Okay.
Trigger.
Got it.
Untap it with Kyrian Ranger.
All right.
Activate it. Put in second Crater Hoof.
Done.
Game.
Done.
How is this not just better than the 4th Natural Order?
Yeah, I agree.
Or the 3rd? Or all of them?
Yeah, for Elvish Piper. You heard it here first, all right? So when Elvish Piper Elves just takes the meta by storm,
Yeah.
you know who to thank.
Elvish Piper.
Mostly this guy.
Yeah, you have the endorsement of Philip Simon. If you really insist on putting that stupid Progenitus into play, this is how you got to do it. Ooh, yeah, I could splash for Dreamhalls.
Main Piper. You just know. Yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of people like Rurikthar and Elves. I am not a huge fan of it in general. There are a lot of situations where it like the main situation where it's impressive is when you have one creature and you just jam it for against Storm, you just jam a turn 2 or turn 3 natural order for Rurikthar and hopefully lock them out of the game. But I think that's kind of a huge pipe dream, and even then, if you're casting natural order, just kill your opponent. They should be dead. More often than not,
I like to toy with my.
Toy with your food?
Yeah.
You like to play with your food?
Yeah.
I'm more of I'm the no-nonsense kind of guy. I like when my opponent just loses the game.
I also would like to point out what Grant Fly was saying. We're also splashing for Dream Halls in this. All right, so there's 4 natural order, 4 Elvish Piper. All right, 4 Dream Halls.
Okay.
Okay, and then the rest elves. Some Crater Hoofs. Actually, no. You know what? Fuck it too. We're gonna play Painter Servant. All right.
Painter Servant.
So that way we can name green, and we can put in Emrakul from hand.
Let's get some thoughts on this Painter Servant Elves deck.
Yeah.
I want to know what you guys really think.
Painter Servant Dream Halls.
You think they're
It was Elves Worldgorger, or excuse me, Lands Worldgorger mirror.
when starts the next round? Soon starts the next round.
Yes. It should be. I mean, there's 30 seconds left in the round. The players, when I was up there was only 1 match left. That was Lands versus Worldgorger. They should be done pretty soon.
Yeah, we should get some Edric's in there.
Oh yeah, we're already playing blue. Yeah, why the fuck not?
If you're already in blue, you might as well draw some cards.
Yeah. And you can still pitch it to Dream Halls to put in a green creature.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like it. Are we running Grindstone? Or are we just running Painter Servant?
I think you just need Painter Servant.
I agree, because Green Sun gets a lot better that way.
Yeah, and Dream Halls is really good with that.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Yeah,
Good.
that's a lot of value in this deck. A lot of value. It definitely has a lot of cards. I could see, Rounded Pegasus.
And we're still calling this Elves, by the way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I could see a Grizzlebrand. It's for the situations you need to tutor it up.
Yeah, it's a green Grizzlebrand. Why not?
Fauna Shaman's in this deck, right?
No, this is too good.
Yeah, but it's really good. It's just too good. Note, the reason for not playing your terrible Survival the Fittest is because it's too good. This is where we are.
Yeah.
Legacy deck building extraordinaire going on here.
You're also talking to the person that is trying to jam Force of Will into mud. So,
Jesus. Have you ever seen the... There are dredge decks that have played Force of Will in the past, and that's
I've had them play against me, and I was like, "Wow, that was unexpected,"
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm still gonna roll you over. that's just.
You're just like, did you just 2-for-1 yourself? Like what?
It's like, oh, that's cool.
It's like, why do you need that?
I'm glad that Narcomoeba was in your hand.
Yeah.
I also had a dredge opponent try to they cited into Painter Stone, which blew my mind as well. But again, this is...
yeah, I've seen that, yeah.
But this is also when I was playing for Revoker. So, I was like, alright, lads. The matchup is still pretty good against you. Sorry.
Yeah. The fun part about Painter is that you are just so hateful. Just so hateful.
Okay, so an actual question. So what do I think about the mud list with Painter Servant, and Grindstone and Ugin? I actually, a while back, got tired of having some like weird matchups, especially against like some of the more control-y decks. And I actually played Painter Stone, Grindstone. I played one of each in the main.
Interesting. Just a Forge Master 4?
The Forge Master 4, and like you're playing Chalice, so you really don't want to go too crazy on the Grindstones, at least game 1.
Yeah.
And so I actually do like it. Ugin, I'm not like... You're also talking to like a weird mud player, because like I don't like... I mean, like the spells that I have that cost more than 6 are 1 Sundering Titan and then Blightsteel.
And a Spine, right?
And a Spine, yes.
But like those, and that's pretty stock, right?
Well, the 1 Spine is, but I mean, some people go up to like 4 Sundering Titans.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, like, people really like their Sundering Titans, but I don't like it because the deck is still vulnerable. Like, no matter what mana base you're playing, still very vulnerable to Wasteland.
Yes.
And Metalworker is incredibly easy to kill. So a lot of times you can get these draws where those cards just get stuck in your hand. Like, you're just sitting with a ton of cards, like a ton of super high costed cards. You have no hope of ever casting them.
Makes sense.
Like, 6 mana is relatively reasonable, because 6 mana is Soul Land into Grim Monolith, untap, play something bigger.
Sure.
And you can still play around days in that case.
Yeah.
Which, like, that's reasonable because it's 1 land and that's the interaction that you have to do it. But once you start getting higher up, it's a lot harder to actually reliably do that.
Ooh. Looks like is that Nathan? That's gotta be Nathan.
It looks like it.
Look at that. I can see the hands. Yeah, it's definitely Nathan. All right.
So we'll get our beautiful face. It's almost painful to take our faces off here. It's weird.
It pains me.
It's too good. Too looking good. Fuck it. All right. It's done.
Goodbye.
just done. Do we know what Nathan's on? Let's see.
Yeah, he's on a Bant. He's like Bant Maverick.
Bant Maverick.
Although that doesn't seem correct because he definitely has Delvers in his deck box. Unless they're just for fun.
Maybe we'll just put Bant initially.
God, thank God Kyle's not using those sleeves.
Which ones?
The ones that are like crazy reflective.
Oh, he's done that before, and it is terrible.
Yeah, I sat next to him and I almost had an aneurysm. It was really difficult to deal with. Yeah, so last time this happened, last time this matchup, I watched them play this matchup. Nathan won.
Really?
Yeah, Nathan's deck, like, I mean, the Bant deck is like kind of pressures your mana with like infinite wastelands. Actually, we saw a very if he's playing Knight of the Reliquary, if it's like similar to what Luis was playing last week. Luis looked pretty favored against what the deck was doing, just like making infinite wastelands and having a lot of disruption. Like he lost game 3 because he mulled a 5, and just like didn't have any action. But it seemed pretty favorable for the Bant deck.
Yeah, I mean, and Kyle though has put basic lands in his deck.
Oh, he has. Okay, that's important.
So that was because he was basically like, I'm tired of losing to Blood Moon and Wasteland.
So he probably has like maybe a swamp or something, or maybe an island. All right, so it looks like his hand is pretty nice.
Yeah, and Painter's all right. So Painter's and Ugin's -0 is pretty nuts. I will say that.
Dan, the Worldgorger matchup's not great. The discard's really good. Abrupt Decay's really good. You just have to you have to play around weird stuff, like losing to someone cunning wishing for silence is like very corner case. You just like have to say.
No, you keep that.
Delta, Doomsday, 2 Gush, Merchant Scroll, Mental Misstep, Lotus.
Keep it.
Oh yeah. So just a turn 1 kill. Is that a turn 1 kill? No. So you don't have. Let me think. You don't have Fast Bond. You have turn 1 Doomsday, but you have no way to draw a card. I mean, it's like obviously an instant keep. Kappa, whatever. Yeah. All right, both players mulliganing here. Going to 6. I thought Kyle's hand was all right, but I don't think he had as many lands as it looked. Nathan didn't look great.
Nathan must be 1-1 as well. I have to imagine.
Yes. Oh no, Nathan's playing Rogue Delver.
Is he?
Yeah, I saw a Nimble Mongoose, which has got to be a really tough matchup for Worldgorger. Like the combination of just all the land destruction has got to be a massive pain.
Yeah, and like the stifle. Yeah, there's a stifle. Yeah, that is. Yeah, that's 100% Rug Delver. Okay.
Yeah. So the Delvers were the Delvers were there for a reason. Are you sure this isn't Teamer Delver?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
No, yeah. Notice here we're old school.
Well, that and just all right. So the original, so all the shard names were all great. They all had a good ring to them. They were all one or two syllables. And I mean, I guess the new clans are all one or two syllables, but they're just not easily said.
I agree. They're a bit more awkward. I think it's good that they're catching on.
And
now.
Especially sorry. Yep. And especially when compared to rug or bug.
Yeah. It's hard to switch with the monosyllabic ones.
So especially when they're funny too.
Yeah.
When they're so. I don't know.
All right, so we got a turn 1 Thoughtseize from Kyle, possibly indicating that his hand is able to combo soon. He does have Animate Dead. He does have Entomb. So yeah, his hand's pretty great. And he's just going to get that Force of Will out of the way. Nathan just going to ponder here, look for some more counter magic. He finds a Stifle, a Tarmogoyf, and I did not see what the second card is.
So what's your feeling on Mongoose versus Mandrills?
I think Mongoose is too good not to play in this deck. Yeah, I think Mongoose, you have the same sort of thing where they both don't die to a lot of the same things. It's I think pretty important having a card that doesn't die to Swords to Plowshares in your deck. I don't and they're both cards that are bad against stuff like Rest in Peace.
Sure.
But Wasteland here is really excellent. I think you just want to keep this deck's curve as low as possible. This deck is just, it's best when it's when it has 2 lands in play.
Yeah.
All right, so Kyle does have the backup land.
Yeah, and I bet, and he's got the swamp in hand, so I bet you he fetches just for an island, and then.
Yeah, if he has multiple basics in his deck.
Yeah, he's got 1 island and 1 swamp.
Oh, that's
last I checked. So.
Really interesting. Oh, he had it in his hand. Okay, that explains why he didn't
swamp
fetch
is
the
in the plan. Yeah, in his hand.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Yeah. So Kyle's gonna be protected from this. And it looks like did he actually? So Kyle should be 1 15. Lower from that Mongoose swing.
1 hit, 2 fetch, and a Thoughtseize, yeah. And now Kyle. So it's a little awkward here that Kyle had to fetch this island. I know he has Entomb. Looks like his hand is 2 more lands and Animate Dead. Not sure what else. I like Nathan's hand right now. Nathan's in a pretty good spot. If he could find a Daze or perhaps a Force of Will, I think he's doing really great. Although even if he finds Force, he doesn't have an extra blue card because he probably has to ponder into it. So just gonna get in here for 1. He could have filled his graveyard.
Yeah, he could have gotten Threshold.
Yeah, if he decided to. I think he's just gonna wait till next turn and just deploy the Goyf first. And the Goyf is going to be 1, 2, 3.
Kyle's pretty good about grabbing the die, so I imagine I'm not going to run up there.
Immediately grabs it. Yeah, I believe we have land, sorcery, instant.
Killer Kevin wanting to know why nobody likes Scythe Tiger. We'll bring that up really quick.
I could sing the praises of Scythe Tiger.
I'm down for Scythe Tiger.
It does have Shroud.
Why not?
It's like a Mongoose that's already thresholded.
Yeah. I like it.
I don't like Scythe Tiger because you are an 18-land deck that already has 4 lands that are basically spells.
Oh, here's what you do, all right?
Okay. We got a plan.
You, Cavern of Souls.
Uh-huh.
All right. On Cat.
All right.
Cast Scythe Tiger.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wait, no, sacrifice unless you sacrifice a land.
And
Never mind.
And then sacrifice the Scythe Tiger.
No. I was going to say trigger, daze it.
Oh, my goodness.
And then bounce a land. Doesn't work, though. Never mind. Excuse me.
Also, isn't an island.
No. All right. You have Prismatic Omen out.
Holy crap.
So this is turn 3 at the earliest.
Ladies and gentlemen, for more Scythe Tiger commentary, just follow us on Twitter and Facebook. All right, so Kyle's just gonna main phase this Entomb. He knows 1 card in Nathan's hand as Bolt, so he knows that Nathan can't have Force of Will for this. So it's pretty important that he gets this to resolve while he can.
Oof, and there's the Worldgorger.
Yeah, playing around both Spell Pierce and Daze, potential draws that Nathan could have had. Kyle does have the Animate Dead in hand. I don't know if he has the requisite action spell with Nephalia Johnyard or Dig Through Time or something like that. I don't believe he does.
But it's interesting because he can just force a draw, though, whenever he kind of wants to.
Yeah, that is a thing he can do. Nathan with Stifle's an amazing draw.
Stifle. I believe. Let me think. If I think correctly, what do you stifle with this Worldgorger before we go? Ooh.
Oh, sorry.
You don't want to stifle. I mean, you could stifle the enter the battlefield trigger, the leaves battlefield trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is nice. All right, so yeah.
Well, not really, because then you don't have anything else either.
No. It's not symmetric. It's only you.
Oh, you control. Yeah. Never mind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah. So yeah, stifle is. Oh wow. And this ponder, double daze stifle. I think he's definitely going to put one of these dazes in his hand to protect this stifle.
He's not. I mean, but he's also not super far behind just yet. Kyle is. So I mean, Kyle can kind of wait.
I don't think the goose is loose.
The goose is not loose. No, that's 7.
Is it 1, 2, 3?
Or 6?
4,
Yeah,
5,
there's only
6.
6. Yeah.
So it's just going to attack for 5 here. Put Kyle to 9. But the bolt will be lethal next turn.
Very true. So Kyle can Thoughtseize.
That does expose him to daze though. Like if he wants to go for Animate Dead, then it's really tough.
So let's see. If he Thoughtseize, he goes to 7, and then the goose is loose and he's dead.
Yeah, because the problem with the Thoughtseize is if he does cast Thoughtseize, he has 2 cards he needs to take, and there's just nothing he can.
But
do.
he takes the daze. Oh, but I mean, like, then Bolt's just. I mean, excuse me. You take the stifle, but then Bolt's still there,
and the daze is still there.
Yeah.
So the question. So if I think he's like he's really thinking about it here. Basically, no matter what he does, as long as Nathan stifles the correct thing, he'll get him. Oh, we forgot to start the clock.
Oh, shit! We're bad at life.
God
damn.
Put him at 43.
Really? You think 43?
No, 45.
All right, well, I'll run up there in a second. I'll run up in between after the round.
All right, so Kyle is going to cast the Thoughtseize, and Nathan, I think correctly, not going to do anything, and Kyle's just going to see a whole bunch of bad news. If he takes the daze, the stifle's just going to wrath all of his permanents.
Yeah.
If he takes the yeah, I'm just going to.
Oh, and Kyle had the other Entomb.
He also had Animate Dead.
Well, yeah. So, but the other Entomb lets him actually win.
Oh, yes, you're right. You're right. Because he gets to get Snapcaster Mage.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. Oh wait. Why does that win? Because he gets to what is
well, he makes infinite mana.
Okay.
Then he gets Snapcaster Mage.
Okay.
And then he
what does he get? He can snap back like he can't. He has no action spells to snap back because he didn't draw any.
Yeah.
He didn't draw any. Whatchamacallit, like draw spells. Like if he had like a brainstorm in there, he could like flash that back. But it'd have to be that'd be the last spell he casts because he won't be able to get back the things after that. This has got to be.
Yeah, all right, never mind.
This has got to be a very tough matchup for Kyle. In general, Rug Delver is sort of the bane of combo decks.
Yeah.
And this is not going to be much different. Not going to be very different. The Worldgorger deck is pretty sweet. I mean, it's basically acting as a control deck, sort of this Esper deck, or even just a sort of slower combo deck, playing stuff like Swords to Plowshares, Thoughtseize, trying to protect its combo. It's got Force of Will and the like. Yeah, Entombing Una would be sweet. That doesn't work quite like that, unfortunately, the Dan. Once the Snapcaster is in play, the loop stops, so he can't reanimate dead the Una. But yeah, it's. I don't think he had the kill there, even if he put the Worldgorger into play.
Yeah.
But yeah, this Worldgorger deck is not. It has like the possibility of killing you on turn 2. Like it can just go Entomb, turn 1 Entomb, turn 2 Animate Dead. But against a deck that with Rug Delver that presents just like wave upon wave of disruption, really cheap disruption, it's pretty hard to fight through, especially like along with a clock and a clock that's like cheap. That's sort of like why Goose is pretty excellent in this matchup. Like the main way Kyle has to slow down his opponent is Swords to Plowshares.
Yeah.
I don't believe Nathan has any Simian Spirit Guides. Not this time.
I hope so. No, he's probably got some Elvish Spirit Guides, though.
Elvish Spirit Guides. Yeah, he needs those to cast when you need double green for Thrun.
Why is there no Blue Spirit Guide?
Blue's got everything else.
Yeah, I understand that, but the only thing I'm actually interested in is a Blue Spirit Guide.
What kind of creature would it be?
I don't give a shit.
This is important.
A Dijing.
A Jin Spirit Guide. A Dijin Spirit Guide. Chat, chime in here. What creature type would the blue Spirit Guide be?
I think, like...
What would its stats be? It have to be 3 mana. They're all 3 mana.
Sure. It can be an 0/0. I don't give a shit.
An 0/0.
Yeah.
I gotta say, you don't buy into anything here. You have no sense of whimsy.
No. Not at all.
I think it would be like
I just want an uncounterable 1 mana blue, like 1 blue source. That's all I'm going for.
That's all I need. I just need this.
It's an 0/0 unless you have 20 cards or fewer in your library, and then it's a 13/50.
Ladies and gentlemen, future Magic designer Mark McManus.
And Bagritis.
Yeah.
I hope that's that's Bagritis. Bagritis, thank you for following. Much appreciated.
Andy Gray, I agree. Blue Spirit Guide is the definition of be careful what you wish for. Like, you know what? I feel like blue is missing some cards, so let's just throw them in there.
Yeah, so basically what I need it for is solely for my blue mud deck.
Just for my...
And I just need it to be a blue card that can pitch to Force of Will, but also ramp me. So that's why I need it to be blue. It can be an 0/0.
Oh
I don't care if it's an 0/0, unless it's 20 cards or fewer in the library, and then becomes a 3/3.
Wow. Reminiscing on what to do with blue mud. That's what we got here. Looks like
wow, again, both
players.
mulliganing to 6.
Kyle's hand had no lands in it, from what I could tell.
Okay. I love to hate Kyle with his lands in front. Just so wonderfully irritating.
Yeah.
Oh, on stream on Wednesday, because I was just having fun, definitely had my card, like, because I trolled I trolled my own stream. It was great, because I definitely had, like, my lands and permanents just all mixed in together.
Yeah.
It was pretty great. There was no rhyme or reason. And I actually kind of want to start playing that way, because it just unnerved, like, even though I was chummy with my opponent the entire time, it unnerved them.
Yeah.
And I was like, my God, this is great.
Oh my goodness. I think
It confuses the board state, though. I was like, I don't know how much mana I have.
Yeah. Andy Gray, I agree. Yeah, Phyrexian mana is created by the people who ask questions. You know what? Why not Blue Spirit Guide? Yeah. You know, blue is really lacking a -5/-5. Let's just throw that in there. I firmly believe Phyrexian mana was one of the biggest mistakes of the last like 5 years.
Really?
I hate it. I think it's just horrible design-wise. Completely idiotic. All the cards, like it only has potential for broken things. Like,
yeah.
The cards they printed, like stuff.
I'm okay with that.
Dismember, Gitaxian Probe. These cards are just.
See, I'm a fan of broken things being allowed in formats, because then the cooler cards get to be allowed in formats.
I don't know if that's necessary.
Because they're not powerful enough to interact with the broken things.
I think Phyrexian mana did exactly the opposite of that, though. It was just like, oh, take your already overpowered, like historically blue is extremely overpowered.
Oh, Nathan's at 5.
Yeah, Nathan going to 5 here, but his 5 is great.
Pretty good. Oh, not as great. Not as great.
All right, we'll stop talking about Phyrexian mana for a while. I can talk for hours about how much I hate it.
We'll jump back on to Blue Simian Spirit Guide, Blue Spirit Guide.
In a while.
No, right now.
Wow. Is Nathan casting that surgical extraction? No, he's not. No, he's not. It's just like,
okay.
All right.
I was
like, that's very strange. I thought maybe he thought he could get the Thoughtseize, but all right. So Kyle going to take a look at Nathan's hand. As we said, as far as 5 cards go, this is excellent.
Yeah.
The only thing he's missing is a threat, which is relatively important.
So do you take the surgical or do you take the stifle? Probably the surgical, right?
I think you have to take one of the two. I mean, like, Kyle's hand's not good from what I can tell. He's just going to take the surgical. I mean, both the cards
I think Kyle was really, really hoping that surgical extraction was actually getting fired off.
Oh, for sure. I mean, he'd be thrilled if it got rid of a Marsh Flats. Marsh Flats.
Speaking of Phyrexian mana.
Yeah. Why not? Like, this is a fine card, but, like, why can I play this in my rug deck? Like, that's idiotic. Oh, wow. Nathan with an excellent draw off the top. Delver of Secrets. This is pretty perfect. Probably the second best card he could draw, and the best or second best.
Kyle drawing Ponder, though, which isn't bad. He's going to be able to go get a blue, go get an island, because, I mean, Nathan's tapped out. He doesn't have to be worried about Stifle here.
And he does know he doesn't have Wasteland in his hand. So,
yes.
I think it's kind of tempting to go for a Tundra here, especially because I think Kyle has a copy of Swords to Plowshares in his hand.
Oh, does he? Okay.
I believe so. Yeah,
Yeah,
so he's,
all right, there
he's
we
going to
go.
get Tundra.
And I think he does have another blue fetch, so like if it gets into a similar position, then
He can still
kinda-
fetch the island, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you just cast Ponder here, though. Kyle just want to be as conservative as possible, buy himself as much time, and he's just going to Swords the Plowshares Delver.
Which I think is fine.
Yeah.
Because in this situation, Kyle is probably sitting prettier than... Because he already has a animate dead.
Yeah. I think I would have waited in the upkeep. There's basically no downside, and
Yeah.
if Nathan happens to reveal a spell, you get free information that way.
Exactly. I actually agree with that.
Yeah.
We see a Stifle going into hand...
No.
He drew Stifle, but then Ponder, then he's shuffling.
Yeah, so didn't find what he's looking for there. I'm assuming Nathan just looking for a creature here. Yeah. We'll see what he can find shuffling after this Ponder.
Gibson actually bring up a good point. It probably would be Fairy, the Spirit Guide.
I guess so.
That makes perfect sense.
Isn't Elvish Spirit Guide a fairy, though?
Oh, I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it's an... Wait, let's see.
Ooh, awkwardly enough. So one thing that we did not notice. So Nathan draws Tarmogoyf off the shuffle, but does not have a green land. Just gonna look at Elvish
he
Spirit
doesn't.
Guide real quick. It is.
Elf Spirit.
Okay, all right, it's not all right.
But I think it's
looks like a
Ape
bird.
Spirit for
It is.
whatever. But so we'll bring up Ponder because it's probably more relevant.
yeah,
to the
we'll
actual-
get this Elvish Spirit Guide out of here. But
It's important things, okay?
So it looks like we have a shuffle for Kyle off here. Not really certain what's in his hand, so but he's clearly looking for either.
He needs an Entomb.
Yeah, I'd guess Entomb. Entomb is it's interesting because in other Reanimator decks, Entomb is strong, but you can go about it in winning the game in a different way. Like you don't need Entomb to win. You have Careful Study.
Ooh, there's a dig through time though.
Oh, that's a great draw.
And all right, and he's got an EE. So
So he's set to play the long game here.
yeah.
He just wants to, just try and resolve that dig through time and start getting ahead. Dig through time is just such a phenomenal card.
And especially like if Kyle can set it up so that Nathan has to waste the Stifle on
Maybe that
the engineered explosives.
Yeah, that's possible. Yeah.
And then he's able to kind of go off. Now, it's whether or not Nathan realizes the interaction that he can stifle the Worldgorger trigger.
Yeah. I think he's aware. Nathan brainstorming here, main phase. Unfortunately, looks like he bricked down a fetch land, so he can't shuffle away any of these cards. It's especially awkward because his only threats are 2 green creatures, and he still only has volcanic islands. He found a Gitaxian Probe here, and a Wasteland, so I think he's going to deploy both of those this turn. Yeah, just going to Wasteland the Tundra, and he is going to pay 2 life and Gitaxian Probe Kyle. Seeing his hand of Animate Dead, Dig Through Time, and Engineered Explosives. So Kyle here just probably going to try and dig for explosives, but he is short blue mana now because of that Wasteland.
Yeah. And Nathan could maybe in this situation. I think I actually do almost go for the Stifle in the fetch land.
Now it's a little less enticing, but I still don't want him to cast Dig Through
Yeah,
Time.
and if I was Kyle, I think I go ahead and actually try to bait out that Stifle.
I think he's going to do it now that he's drawn Ponder, but he's just going to wait. Nathan just drawing after, so we knew he was drawing Goyf this turn. He just drew another Goyf, so he has 3 uncastable creatures. There it is, Flooded Strand. So now he can start playing these creatures. I think he's just going to play Goyf first.
Yeah, I don't... I guess there is some merit to Kyle's line here. But I think I'd much rather, especially after you draw that Ponder, just try to... I mean, even before you do that, just because, you almost wonder if Kyle notices the interaction between Stifle and Worldgorger at this point. I have to imagine he does.
I think he's played the deck enough so that he's aware of these sort of interactions. I think it's important to bait the Stifle, though. I think he needs it out of Nathan's hand, and I think cracking those fetches might entice him to do it. Like, for instance, before Kyle played the Delta, I think I would have just cracked the Mystic.
Exactly. That's 100% what I would have done. Try to get that Stifle out of his hand.
And then that way you play the Delta and you're able to put your basic island into play and you're at least somewhere.
Yeah.
I would have done this at least... it's not actually possible the way things worked out, but... Let's see. All right, yeah, so Kyle just going to crack, and Nathan going to Stifle. And then Kyle going to crack again. So Kyle going to 14 here.
And Kyle's got a Cunning Wish off the top as well.
That's
That
nice.
was what he drew for the
But
turn.
a little expensive for how few lands he has. I think he's just going to Ponder here.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to play the explosives, I think, because he just opens him up to getting needlessly dazed. He just wants lands. That's sort of been how I felt playing combo decks against Rug. You just want to get as many lands into play as possible. I know in the past playing Storm, I've sideboarded Flusterstorm specifically for the card Stifle, just to like get my basic lands into play and cast cards like Ponder and Brainstorm. All right, so this Ponder's going to resolve. We know that Nathan has 2 more creatures in play. Kyle not finding any more lands.
Is that an Entomb though?
It looks like Animate Dead, Snapcaster. Yeah, he has.
Because he's got 2 Animate Deads in hand. So if that isn't Entomb, then he plays around Daze.
If he does it next turn in his
if he doesn't, and then he can also. It wasn't Entomb. All right, so then he can he plays around Daze.
Yes.
And then he fires off the first Animate Dead, which he knows is going to get dazed, and then he gets another chance to do it.
Yeah. So I think he just has to keep this Entomb here. He does need lands. But I think I'm more interested in just taking this. I think the Entomb's too important right now. Kyle disagreeing though. He's going to shuffle. I think he just wants to resolve this dig through time more than anything else. Just preferring to play like a slower, more controlling role, knowing that he has explosives in his hand. Nathan can't really play any other. Can't play more Goyfs. He can only play 1 Goyf into this explosives. But we'll see. So Nathan just gonna untap here. Draws Wasteland, which is gonna be excellent. I'm fairly certain these are the only 2 basics in Kyle's deck. I don't think I would have played it though.
The Wasteland, I agree. I probably would have kind of held that back a little bit.
And Nathan,
unless he's trying to jam out a couple different spells this turn, but I don't know if you really need to.
Okay, so Nathan is gonna play the second Goyf here, which does play into the explosives, but Kyle's not gonna be able to activate that this turn. The earliest he can activate it is next turn. All right, so he draws Polluted Delta for turn.
Okay.
And he's going to try and resolve this Engineered Explosives, and that's going to resolve. I think Nathan just putting Kyle on needing to draw a land there with knowing that he has the Daze in his hand.
Yeah.
I mean, and this is still pretty good. Next turn he could still just play the Goose, and he'll have lethal the following turn. This is an attack. This is going to be an attack for 6 to 5. Oh no, he'll be 1 off of lethal, unless he can find a way to put some other type in the graveyard, but I don't think that's going to be possible.
Yeah. Oh, and Kyle can actually Cunning Wish for Entomb, but he's going to have to pop that Explosives.
Yeah, next turn his mana's going to be eaten up. And Nathan, unfortunately, just drawing lands. Not really that helpful in this situation. I think he's just going to cast the Goose and attack for 6.
So if you're Nathan, do you go ahead and force him paying the 1 extra for the Daze? Because that puts him down to 10. You then put him to 4.
On what spell?
On the Engineered Explosives.
Well,
and then you can Wasteland whatever land he goes and gets.
Oh, last turn? I think it's pretty tempting to, putting him to 2 lands, but I think you can... I think it's okay to save it. Maybe that Daze just isn't getting better. I think it's completely reasonable to do it. Alright, so he's gonna play the Goose. Kyle almost got himself there. If he had end step fetched, that would have opened him up to just getting Wastelanded before he could untap, and that's not really where he wants to be.
Never took the hand off the card, though.
Nope.
He's just waving it around. It's fine.
Yeah.
He's just showing. He's like, look at my foil polluted. Isn't this pretty?
Can you appreciate my pretty card right here?
Yeah.
So Kyle, he's just going to main phase Explosives here. He knows he's dead to a Stifle, but that's fine. All right, so there go the Goyfs, and Nathan needs to top deck a Bolt to kill him, but I don't think there are many Bolts in his deck right now. There might not be any.
Yeah.
You really don't need him that well. I know traditionally Rug Delver in combo matchups, they are able to they just sideboard out some creatures because they're a little slow.
Yeah.
But it looks like Nathan has not done that. He's drawn 1 of every creature, so. Ooh. Yeah. He's just gonna play Delver. I like playing Delver here because it's safe from any future explosives. And it stops... I guess Kyle can't really draw out of this. He needs, I think, too much at this point, and he's just too short on lands. And he just does... And not having the Entomb is just brutal. I don't think there's a series of cards he could draw to get himself out of this situation. I think the only way he has to kill Nimble Mongoose is explosives. Yeah. He could animate dead the Goyf. But...
all right.
Here's the thing. If he does that... If Nathan,
he's dead.
Yeah, because Nathan dazes, and that puts Kyle to 1, and then he's just dead to the attack. Maybe he can... I think I would just hope that Nathan doesn't daze here and just cast the Animate Dead. Obviously, he's also dead. Oh, he's just going to go to 1. Obviously, he's dead if Nathan flips a spell, but you can't play around everything in this situation. He's incredibly far behind. No, Alpa, he does not have an Entomb. He has he drew a Duress for turn.
Yes. And Cook, if you're still in, good night. Otherwise, I'll say good night next time you pop in stream.
He's just going to jam a dig through time here. Delve first, because that's part of the cost. I think Nathan's just going to say that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, you could daze here. I think it's defensible to daze here. Like, what could Kyle get for 0 mana that does anything?
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean...
I also kind of question... I mean, not that it's actually going to end up mattering at all. Okay, so he is going to...
Yeah. I think this daze is fine. There isn't really anything that Kyle could draw that gets him out of this. Yep, just going to reveal his hand.
Yeah.
Oh, he had a Dance of the Dead was that card. Just a Dance of the Dead, for those wondering, it's just another of the Animate Dead effects. Yeah, and Nathan can take it down. Ugh. Sort of as we had predicted. Nathan molds to 5 and still gets there because this deck is just so good.
That mold of 5 was
very good.
Very good.
Yes, as far as mold of 5s go, it's pretty excellent.
Yeah. All right, so we'll bring you back to the booth. Or do you want to run upstairs?
Yeah, I want to use the bathroom, so I'll run upstairs.
No, you can't do that.
Okay, sorry. I will not use the bathroom. I'm sorry, chat.
Yeah, you can go upstairs, but none of that bathroom nonsense.
Fine.
Oh my goodness.
All right, I'm gonna look for another match.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, so yeah, that was the thing. It's a little unfortunate that we didn't get to see Worldgorger do its thing, but you know, it's how the cookie crumbles. Nathan did win, guys. So I'll go ahead and I'll put a little 2 by his name. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So pretty handily beatings for Kyle. Again, unfortunate. Just kind of how everything played out. Yeah, but you know, 10 grams. Thank you for following, much appreciated. But I guess if we want to jump back over to the spirit guide conversation, because it is. Let me bring this back up. Because it is. Oh, Simian spirit guide. It isn't. Yeah, ape spirit. Yeah, so you could be fairy spirit. Totally. The blue one can totally be fairy spirit. This is a cool FNM. This is actually not an FNM, Hoots. This is just our normal Monday Legacy tournament. We have a Legacy tournament on Monday and Thursdays. Monday, it's from Chicagoland Games Dice Dojo. And on Thursdays, it's from MTG Card Market. Also on Wednesdays, we have a modern tournament from MTG Card that we stream from MTG Card Market as well. We normally do giveaways. There is a giveaway tonight. It's going to be a t-shirt. I'll do that here in just a little bit. It's going to be a nice WUBRG t-shirt. Dice Dojo is also going to start doing giveaways as well. We're going to do them in a little bit of a different format, guys. But the first giveaway is going to be a Japanese... Jeez, if I could fucking talk. A Japanese Ravnica Bob. So, Dark Confidant. So, I'll go ahead and hype that. That was donated courtesy of, again, Chicagoland Games Dice Dojo. And we'll be giving that away again in a slightly different format just because of the value of the card. And there will be more on that as it comes. But, it's just a little tease for you guys. Little tease for you. But yeah, no, we'll do the t-shirts. I believe I still have extra small to XXL for the t-shirts, so we'll have that going here in just a little bit. And Captain America, or Captain Americal, thank you for following. And Juvie Binary Q3, thank you for following as well. Much appreciated. How do you enter the contest? Well, we'll open up the... so for the Dojo contest, how we're going to be doing that in the future is basically there's going to be a link... and if you follow the stream, you get a certain number of points. If you like the Facebook page, you'll get a certain number of points. If you like their Facebook page, yada, yada, yada. And that's how we're going to handle those giveaways. So unfortunately, the Dojo giveaways are primarily going to be for newer viewers. But if you haven't followed our Twitter and yada, 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 and I'll figure out how to do something for existing viewers as well. Just kind of make that a little fair. That's why I didn't bust it out Monday because they're still trying to figure out some ways to kind of handle that. Dojo's giving away, is starting to do giveaways as well.
Awesome.
Now.
That's great.
And the first one is a Japanese Ravnica Near Mint Dark Confidant.
Sweet.
But just because of the value of the card and whatnot, and we're still kind of going through how we're going to give away those.
Yeah.
So come next Monday, we should have an idea. And Houts and Thunderous Oath, thank you for following, much appreciated.
Yeah.
Who do I have to kill? Crimson, I don't know. M. Grisham's offering to kill people, and Crimson is offering to sell their body.
All right, so we will send you a list of people to kill, and we will send you a bill for your body.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or I was just going to say a list of favors we could send to.
Yeah, both seem good.
Like favors that were. Oh,
we
actually.
Yeah, we do have. I did find another
man,
match starting game 3.
You were handy. So it looks like Kyle Houtman, and which is nice because he's sitting on the side that Kyle was sitting on.
Perfect.
Less that we have to change. But the guys, the giveaway for the T-shirt is going to happen probably after the 4th round.
Yep.
I'm feeling generous. We'll give away 2 shirts.
Sweet.
2 people will get it.
Ooh, look at all these follows. Thanks, guys.
Hey, Alpha BP, I know has already followed. I think.
Samson Brock. Ooh.
Thank you for following.
Wait,
last
that Brock Samson.
I don't know. I'd be happy if it was Brock Sampson. That'd be pretty sweet. Last Punk Duck, thank you for following. And Lane8503, thank you for following. What do you... No.
Gotta
no.
switch these.
No.
Kyle Houtman.
Is this game 3?
Yes. 1-1.
Okay.
I guess there's no other
And
thing. They're both 2-0.
Oh, that's Simon.
Yep.
Simon said he was just going to get run over.
Simon, I looked over at the board, and Simon definitely had a Sphere of Safety and at least 15 other enchantments out. I do think this is a pretty tough matchup for him. Like, he doesn't have too many ways to interact with the card Sneak Attack, but he does have Banishing Light. Banishing Light's amazing against Show and Tell.
Yeah. Oh, no, and he also has 9 cards to bring in.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Out of the board, one of which being Humility.
Yeah, he did have Humility in play at the time.
Oh,
Humility's really tough.
Both players mulliganing?
Looks like it. I think they've looked at opening hands already. I haven't noticed though. But yeah, this will be a fun game. I think Kyle's in general gonna be favored here. He does have Cameroon.
I like how he was able to spell his name without looking at anything round 1. This round,
suddenly we have difficulty.
this round, not so much.
Yeah. Enchantress. Enchantress?
That's what I like.
Think about how easy it is for Star City Games, man. You know, they have someone else doing
They have
this.
somebody else doing it, yeah.
You don't see Cedric Phillips typing in Enchantress before the match.
But if we do start actually like commentating like PTQs and stuff, the new tablet and stuff, basically I'm going to let them remote in. And I'm going to have the table spotter do a lot of the stuff.
That'd be so nice.
Yeah.
Congrats to WUBRGxyz for being light years ahead of video quality, commentary, and sound quality. Thank you. We appreciate it. I don't know. I don't think it's accurate, but I'll take it. Simon Cameron entrancing. He is entrancing us.
Yeah, second hand, I've got the confirmation and everything. Unfortunately, I'm just generally a little slow, given that I'm a very busy man.
Yeah, you are.
All right.
You're always doing things.
Happy. Oh, did Zinni leave? Because I meant to ask him about meetups.
He's playing.
All right, cool.
Looks like Kyle is on 6 and he's keeping, and Simon going to 5 cards.
Ooh.
Gonna be tough to win all 5, especially versus some of the punishing draws that Sneak and Show can have.
We got a better than Channel Fireball.
Ooh,
that's pushing it.
I completely disagree with that, but that's fine. I'll take it. Ooh, I think Kyle has one of his better cards in this matchup in Echoing Truth, because everything that Simon's gonna be doing is a permanent, every sort of interactive thing. And Simon keeping his 5, and he has a turn 1 Wild Growth. Kyle has a Ponder on his side of the table. I see it. Kyle's deck has gotten significantly more foily.
Yes,
got a bunch of foil cards
I've
for
noticed that. So we'll bring up the namesake for Kyle's deck, and then have you actually looked at any of the spoilers? Maybe we can do that in between rounds.
I have looked at a few of them.
Anything good? Just sneakage. Fuck me. Just today. Yeah, you know what? Whatever. I'm done. Yeah. Just done. Sneak.
There we go.
So there's one half. That's the sneak half. Mm-hmm. And we'll bring up the show and tell half.
And Kyle's shuffling off that Ponder, ending up with a Brainstorm. This is on his turn 2, I should add. He's just gonna play a land and pass.
Simon with the Plains and Choke, just jamming it, and Kyle's got the Spell Pierce. Kyle refusing to cast the Ponder on turn 1 specifically because of that Spell Pierce, which I liked. But yeah, Choke, pretty big game against the Sneak and Show deck. Kyle is actually generally a little bit different in his builds because he tends to have
some basics,
a basic mountain in particular.
Yeah.
But because usually every red source is an island also, a red source or a Lotus Petal. So different builds are a little helpful here. Looks like Kyle. Interesting that both players have Blood Moon in their deck, like in their 75. Kyle, I'm a little surprised Kyle sideboarded his in.
Yeah, I am too. I mean, granted, it's going to be good here because Simon does have Sarah Sanctum in hand. So I mean, like that definitely does something. But
I don't think he's going to... Since Kyle doesn't know that, I think he's probably just going to shuffle it away with his Scalding Tarn. Ooh, City of Solitude is a pretty great card in this matchup.
Also, apparently, Simon's Wild Growths are the most expensive card in the deck.
That is surprising. I thought Enchantress was like a $20 card, I guess. Oh, we got a City of Solitude on turn 2, and Kyle going to fetch in response. On turn 3, excuse me. Yeah. Holding up 1 mana. Sneak and Show doesn't really play Daze, so it's not really playing around that sort of effect. They're generally they play like several copies of Spell Pierce, but this will be a pretty important card to resolve for him. Although it's unfortunate to see that Simon just doesn't have many action spells. He has no engine cards in his hand.
Yeah, he really needed that choke to.
Yeah, choke would have been huge. And Kyle just letting it resolve. He doesn't really have. I don't think he has. Any counters in his hand.
No.
He does have a dig through time though, which. Might have maybe a misplay here. I think he should have just main phased that. There's 3 mana. Oh, there's the Enchantress, and that's gonna resolve because of the City of Solitude. Hold on 1 second. So you can't actually crack a fetch land.
Nope, you can't. No abilities and no spells.
Yeah, that's kind of sweet. And Kyle just passing here. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think if he had a dig through time, I think he would assuredly cast it.
Yeah, it had to have been.
He's got Lotus Petal. There's Sarah Sanctum. That's tapping for 3 mana.
3, 4, 5. Wait.
Let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, there's a Sigil. He's gonna draw a card.
Yeah, we'll bring that up. Kyle's gonna take a look at it. So will we. I guess I stole that from SCG. I got him good.
Yeah.
And then so with the 1 mana that was floating, we see a Miri's Guile,
which is pretty excellent here, giving him both an angel to attack with and another card.
Also gives him a blocker.
Yeah.
I mean, which is
that's true.
All right, and so we see him fetch as well. So he'll go down to 19.
And then he has another Miri's Guile, which will let him draw a card and make another angel. This is a formidable force he's making all of a sudden.
Yeah, because I mean, like,
nope. Well, he can't do that now. Yeah, he's got to do that main phase. All right, this probably shouldn't be a big deal, but he definitely cannot crack those fetch lands on end step. I think they're noticing it. But this is, obviously very small. He could just crack these fetch lands in his upkeep. Not a big deal. I do think it'd be pretty funny if... I don't know if those Wild Growths are actually the most expensive card, but if so, that's really funny. All right, Kyle's just going to draw. Looks like it was just an upkeep fetch.
It was an upkeep fetch.
Yep.
Yeah, Simon did not give a hand gesture.
Okay, yeah.
So, we were a little...
Sorry, it's not having a table spotter means that we're sort of our own table spotters here. Us in the chat. All right, so Kyle gonna go to 18 off that.
Gonna go to 11?
No. Ooh, Simon with one of the few a card that you will only ever see, I think, in his version of the deck. I've never seen it. It's just such a weird card. First, he's gonna play the Enchantress Presence. Oh, this is just spiraling pretty far out of hand. Kyle needs to get an Emrakul. I don't know if Kyle can actually win.
Emrakul's not good enough anymore. It's gone too far.
He does have Echoing Truth, which will just give him a turn by just resetting all these angels.
Yeah.
But that's exploding.
Mana Bloom draws 2 cards and makes an angel every turn.
There it is, the Mana Bloom. For those, Mana Bloom is. Simon said it's.
Oh God! And there's another presence.
Yeah, Simon told me it was.
And a Nevermore.
Wow. Yeah. Now Simon just going off here, drawing 2 cards and getting an angel. Yeah. This is really absurd.
I have to imagine Emrakul is what's named.
Not no.
Or excuse me, probably like Sneak and Show.
probably
sneak attack. Jesus.
Yeah. Probably sneak attack.
Show and tell I don't think does enough, especially since he's got a Banishing Light in hand.
Wow, and he drew the third Enchantress presence, and he's just out of control at this point. This is the plus side of Enchantress, is that you mulligan pretty well because you have a card like Enchantress's presence.
And I apologize, I was saying Nevermore was Ruined Halo. It is not Ruined Halo.
No, it's Nevermore.
Yeah. Shut up, Phil.
Yeah, I got it.
God damn it.
Yeah, we're not sure what he named. It is certain... I can actually see naming Echoing Truth here, because Emrakul does nothing. Grizzlebrand doesn't really do anything.
Even if he bounces all of the tokens, Emrakul still doesn't do a ton.
Yeah, and the plus side of naming something like Echoing Truth, yeah, he's just.
All right.
I think he did name Echoing
Okay,
Truth.
yeah, that has to be it.
Because
wow.
Kyle's end is just horrible. You just there's a lot of draw power in this Enchantress deck, and you just go off sometimes like that. The Sigil was just absurd.
Yeah, so guys, let us know really quick. Do you guys want to see the undefeated match? It's going to be Enchantress versus... I'm not quite sure what.
Maybe...
So if you guys want to see Enchantress again, let us know. Honestly, the Enchantress has been kind of fun tonight. I wouldn't mind seeing it again.
I've liked seeing it. I mean, he's done work
and
tonight.
And it's it'll be the final round. So.
Yeah. By the way, if you are an Elves fan, Elves is very good versus Enchantress. It's a very good matchup for Elves.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It turns out they can't beat Reclamation Sage.
All right. Yeah. Well. Oh.
Got at least got some no's and some yeses.
We got more yeses than no's.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Hell no.
Yeah. One X and O, yes.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Well, there are far more yeses than no's.
Yeah.
So.
You see less Enchantress than anything. You really don't see very much Enchantress. It's just it's a niche deck. It's certainly, I would not describe it as a tier 1 deck. It's pretty sweet though. It's only really good against certain decks. But it's definitely not. It's not bad. And I've enjoyed watching it tonight. At least, I think in a matchup that seems pretty poor in general, did pretty well there. Yeah, The comment that most decks are basically 5% of Legacy is generally correct. Like that, I often say that when someone asks me, what deck is good in a specific Legacy metagame, I don't think there is much of a Legacy metagame. The shifts are so minimal at any given time. You might play against a little more Delver Secrets one weekend. You might play against a little more blue mid-range, blue control one weekend. But in general, because Legacy is such a high barrier to entry as far as the cards go, people just stick with what they have, and that's just how it is with Eternal formats. A little bit of Modern is sort of like that. With I'd say there's quite a bit more of a metagame choice there because certain decks become more popular. But in general, if you have your Legacy cards, that's just what your deck is. That's what you're going to be playing. Because the investment is just so high. That's why we often see the same 10 or so decks. I'll say. And this is also a local tournament. So local tournaments are you're not going to be seeing a ton of variation. There are a few players who have pretty large collections, so they're able to switch it up based on what they feel like playing, but most players don't really have that much of a luxury. Yeah. Let's see what's going on. What's nice about Enchantress, what's nice about these niche decks is that please stop playing Enchantress Legacy, is that they hate fun. I mean, look, people just I think it's kind of why. I think there's quite a bit of fun to go on with the Enchantress deck. It does one thing I really enjoy, which is drawing cards. You get to draw cards. It's fantastic. But it's not why people aren't playing it. People aren't playing it because, they have Force of Will. They want to play Force of Will or whatever. You want to play Delver Secrets. There are different decks. There are different decks people want to play. A lot of people, in America in particular, people tend to gravitate towards Delver of Secrets. Things are different. The other big Legacy area is Europe, and in Europe, it's just way more combo and it's way more miracles. There's a lot more miracles that goes around there, and here it's just not. We only ever have one miracles player, if that, around, and even at big tournaments, you're not gonna find a ton of miracles decks.
We've got Nick and Bogner.
Every now and then.
Yeah.
But I'd say Bogner is just as likely to play Miracles as he is to play Jund or some other deck. Like, he'll play whatever. All right, so we have we're watching Simon again?
Yeah. And it sounds like he's going to be against one of the guys that's 201.
Oh, great. Ooh.
So, hold on. Vampire... 8.
Yes.
Thank you for following.
8 is the last number.
I think it's actually Vampiro Goku.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
But I like my pronunciation much better.
It's more accurate.
I think so.
Yeah. So we got Simon playing against is it Nathan? Yeah.
Oh, it is Nathan. Nathan did not want to. He was bemoaning this.
I mean, I think in general, so Nathan we saw earlier. Nathan playing Rug Delver, and I would imagine that Enchantress is a real tough matchup for him. His ways of interacting are basically just his counter spells, and you can just like fall behind with just counter magic. What the Rug Delver deck wants to do is wasteland you, and then daze your spell, and then stifle your fetch land, and just like sort of deny you resources. But there's a simple out to that, and it's called Basic Forest Wild Growth, and that just makes things really really tough. Like if Nathan's on the play, there are a lot of draws where he can make Simon's life a little miserable, like dazing the Wild Growth, and then just start stifling and getting ahead.
Yeah.
And as long as he has a turn 1 creature, he's in reasonable shape. But Elephant Grass is is kind of a huge beating. You just don't never have enough counter spells for a deck like Enchantress. And as soon as you get to like any sort of late game, they just take over.
Yeah.
With all their card draw. Let's see. Apparently you don't know what to because players are.
Can I see?
Okay, that's a
yeah. So sure, Kit. I'll get Simon to post his list on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
And
someone asked about it earlier.
Oh yeah. So I'll get him to post it on his Facebook page.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shouldn't be an issue. So just check out our Facebook page. I'll get him to post it there. Should be good. Or I'll get it from him and I'll post it there. One of the two.
I think also as far as Legacy deck choice goes, Legacy has a very large tier 1 because of cards like Force of Will and Abrupt Decay that are just such universal answers to threats that people bring. So like if you're playing a deck with like Force of Will or like Abrupt Decay or Thoughtseize, then you can keep up.
Yeah, and I actually agree with Kebedi.
Yes.
That Legacy tournaments, people don't really metagame.
No, I was mentioning earlier that I don't think there is much of a Legacy metagame.
And honestly, I think Legacy is one of the few formats that it really does reward you to know your deck as well as humanly possible, and then also know what the current builds of all the other major decks are.
Yeah.
And what your strategies against it. I think you're far more rewarded knowing that than just trying to pick up the best deck.
Yes, I agree.
Unless you're playing Blue-Red Delver with Treasure Cruise, and then that's a different story. But even that's not a metagame. That's just like, fuck it, I got a deck, a pile of good cards, let's do this.
I played that deck in one tournament here, and it was just so comically good. Our Facebook page is just WUBRGxyz, right? Just facebook.com/WUBRGxyz or something.
Yeah, it's Facebook. Let me find it.
You find it. Find that thing. All right.
Sometimes Move Up definitely misses because it's supposed to be every 30, but that's not the case.
All right. Looks like Nathan mulling to 5 here. Not ideal against being down cards against a deck that's already naturally up cards, up on card advantage wise is real rough, especially when you need to have a pretty specific draw to take down their things when you have like all these inefficient cards. At least his deck isn't totally he doesn't have completely dead cards. Like he can still bolt Simon's face, and that's probably not the worst, but it's not like it was with other decks with like something like Swords to Plowshares. Pretty poor draw.
No, you don't need to like the Facebook page to see the Enchantress list. The Facebook page shouldn't be private.
Nope, it's not private. You can take a look.
Yeah. So, yeah. I don't think it's private at all.
Let's see. Does Nathan have hand tattoos? He does. He has several tattoos. All right, so starting things off with a Gataxian Probe, and we get to see Simon's hand, which is pretty excellent as far as these hands go.
That's interesting that he has Ground Seal Maim.
I'm assuming he only has a couple copies of it, and worst case scenario, even without a
cantrip,
presence in
yeah.
cycles, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty low investment, and pretty high reward. Wow.
Oh no!
Nathan's hand just 3 Force of Wills and a Tarmogoyf. Simon deciding to play around. Days here. This is interesting. I think I would have, if I were Simon, I would have fetched in response to Nathan, in order to play around.
We are just doing terribly. This is like I think the worst I've ever done in terms of the time.
Yeah, I mean tighten up.
Oh my god. Well, this is
time left in round 4.
Oh god, I know. I'm doing really bad, guys. I sincerely apologize. Like this is I think the worst I've ever done as far as keeping up the overlay.
We're not doing so bad. We're getting on it.
No. I mean, but personally, this is just like it's like an affront against myself. I don't know.
All right, so let's see what. Oh, looks like he's drawn. So this is an end of turn brainstorm, I believe. And he's drawn a couple lands, and it looks like a stifle. Stifle, pretty good draw here. Looks like I think he's gonna. He'll maybe be able to get this fetch land of Simon's, which will be pretty important here because if that fetch land cracks, he's definitely going to get a basic forest.
Yeah.
All right, so Nathan just double checking that he brainstormed correctly here, putting Wasteland back on top. Oh no, this is main phase. He's going to play the Pluto Delta and pass, and Simon not going to crack his fetch land. Just draw his card. See, this is what I was talking about, where it's a little awkward because he has to play into Stifle here, and Nathan is just going to fetch a Volcanic Island and stifle that Arid Mesa. Simon,
see? Fetch lands.
Yeah, fetch lands do
Hashtag fetch lands stuck.
18.
18.
Yeah,
Where's
so
the...
he's gonna
Oh,
fetch
he's
the
second. Okay, second fetch.
So Simon playing around Stifle here. Just going to fetch another. Fetch main phase now. I wonder if he's going to play around Daze.
I think you just go yellow.
I think with your opponent mulliganing,
Yeah.
I would be interested in dazing in this. Just jamming.
And if he goes Force of Will, like, that's...
No,
I
that's
think
perfectly
that's beautiful.
yeah, I mean Nathan has 3 cards in his hand.
Oh, and there's the Daze off the top.
Yeah, and there's a Goyf, and Goyf is going to be pretty good here. He's got instant. Oh, there we go. Appreciate it.
3/4.
Yep. If he could daze a spell here, he might be able to get an enchantment in there and grow his Goyf. But Simon playing around Daze here. He's just going to play the
Oh, wow.
Mary's Guile and followed up with a Utopia Sprawl. I think I would have been interested in dazing that Utopia Sprawl.
Yeah, I 100% would have.
But Simon doesn't have a land here, because now if he finds a land off this Miri's Guile, he's able to play Enchantress's Presence with Daze Protection.
Yes.
All right, so Nathan able to draw a Ponder for turn. Pretty good draw. He finds, looks like Brainstorm, Daze, and Delver.
Yeah.
I think he's just going to put the Delver in play and be able to flip it next turn.
Yeah, because like especially when you think about it, because I mean that Daze is only going to get worse as this game goes on.
Yeah.
And it would have gotten an enchantment in the art to grow Goyf.
Yes.
Like
I think
it would have and it like stops Simon from playing the Enchantress that you know is in his hand.
I think
he's just going to be able to play now.
I think the big thing is it stops. It makes future Dazes even better.
Simon pointing out he forgot his Miri's Guile.
Of course.
Trigger.
Of course, he still draws a land off the top. Nathan's still going to force a will, which will grow the Goyf. He basically is priced into forcing there. Unfortunately, Simon has Elephant Grass as his last card. And because Nathan pitched the Daze, his last card's Force of Will. Nathan just going to say, sure. Flip his Delver, revealing a Brainstorm. And I think he's just going to pay to attack with this Goyf here. Elephant Grass is going to be pretty problematic. Yep, attack for 4.
Okay, so Simon's at 11. Yeah. Now, Simon correctly remembering to use his Miri's Guile.
Yep. He's going to pay for his Elephant Grass trigger, draw a land, and play Eidolon of Blossoms. He is tapping out for this, so Nathan is free to daze, and I believe he is going to daze it. Oh no, he has Brainstorm. Excuse me. He could Force of Will.
He could Force of Will, which
I think I would do this because this also grows the Goyf.
Is there not a creature in the yard?
There's not.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and he's going to force. Yeah. I like this. This actually puts him in a pretty solid position. The downside is that Simon can just keep paying for this. Because Simon has 2 basics, he could just keep paying for this Elephant Grass. He can only get in 5 a turn, but that's still it's a pretty fast clock. And I believe his last card, the card that he left on top from that Ponder, is Daze. Daze is going to be pretty poor in this situation, though. All right, so Simon's stacking his triggers so that he gets to Miri's Guile before he Elephant Grasses.
Yep.
Which is wise. Gets to see his cards first. I did see another Elephant Grass there.
Oh, did you?
I did.
All right, so that's going to be...
That's going to just turn off all the creatures from attacking, but he's not going to have that much mana left over. First, going to lead with Ground Seal. Drawing a card. Ground Seal basically has no text in this matchup. It's probably going to be coming out. Oh, and Simon tapping out for this Daze, tapping out for the second Elephant Grass.
Yep, and then Ponder from Nathan.
All right, so he sees Stifle, Spell Pierce Land. I think he's just going to look for bolts. Just going to try and burn them out.
Yeah, which I think is perfectly fine, too. Second Legacy, most fun to play. What card did Nathan play? Might have been Argothian Enchantress, or Enchantress's Presence, because I did not pull that up.
Nathan's only played cantrips and counters and creatures.
Oh, that's right. Simon is not Nathan.
So drawing off the Ponder. He does find a bolt. All right, so Nathan draws another bolt. He can just kill Simon.
Yeah, and Fella, he did have a Stifle. Oh, so Nathan was talking about the Stifle.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, so Nathan did play a Stifle, sorry.
Yes. All right, so Simon sees Banishing Light on top of his deck. He has to pay 4 mana to pay for all the cumulative upkeep costs here, which is pretty hefty. It's going to basically tap him out.
He still gets a Miri's Guile to kind of figure out what's going on if he needs to get both of them.
Yeah, ideally, I think he would be able to just find another Elephant Grass and sack the one with 3 counters on it.
So he's still looking.
Yeah, I saw a Banishing Light. I didn't see the other cards there.
Ooh.
I think he's just going to let's see.
So the problem is he takes 1 hit, then he dies to Bolt.
Correct. All right, looks like he just drew land off that. And there's a Banishing Light. And he's going to get rid of that Tarmogoyf for sure. This is going to be pretty strong here. There's really nothing Nathan can do with his hand of Bolt and Daze. But I think this is still going to be lethal. Yeah, this is going to be lethal. He's just going to Bolt him end a turn and then attack. Yep.
Yeah.
And Simon offering the game 1 handshake.
All right.
That's pretty excellent. Nathan mulliganed to 5 there.
Yeah.
Nathan just mulliganing all day and just still winning.
I didn't particularly think that Nathan was going to be pulling that one out.
No, the Force of Wills really just did work there. They countered the important cards.
They did. Yeah.
See, we have a lively discussion of what is fun. Yeah. All right, guys. Let's stop talking about what fun is. Talk about anything else.
I mean, like, yeah, I don't know.
I can't imagine a less enjoyable conversation.
No, I mean, well, see, then
let's talk about fun.
Your definition of fun is clearly not this one. However,
it's awesome.
I enjoy a good, well-mannered argument
For sure.
Yeah, well, because why not?
But yeah, let's see. So Nathan, the interesting thing with Enchantress is that
Rhyme Dryad is fun. I think we can all agree with Grantfly.
I often disagree with Grantfly, but about that, I'm on board.
We'll bring up Rhyme Dryad. Why not?
Let's just see. Let's look at.
Just look at it again.
How's it going, Rhyme Dryad?
Some sweet snow.
Rhyme Dryad is not having fun.
No. I don't know. Maybe they're just like Grumpy Cat, just permanent angry face.
One interesting thing I noticed is that, so you know how in Cold Snap they had snow creatures?
Yes.
I almost expected them to go back and errata every Ice Age card and just make them all snow creatures. Like none of them are. They don't exist there. But like, why not? Snow creatures are sweet. I was gonna say back to the match. One interesting thing about a lot of sideboards in Legacy is that because Enchantress is such a niche deck. You're almost never going to find dedicated sideboard cards for a deck like this. That's why I was saying, like, when you play Elves, you have a card like Reclamation Stage, which is just so absurd against this deck.
I would like Fracturing Gust.
Yeah, you're not gonna see just like turn 5, Nathan just play his 5th land and Fracturing Gust away Simon's board
with the 3 green that's required.
Yeah, so that would be every tropical island in his deck, and then 2 more lands in the deck that generally doesn't want more than 3 lands in play.
YOLO, go for it.
Just outrageous.
Hashtag YOLO swag. Got it. Got there. Do you know this person?
Feingersh, I do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Tell them they're a terrible person.
I wouldn't do that.
That's not your name. It's no Fumberman. They should know that.
I go by many names. I watched some. Wow, that's incredible.
Go use
Oh my god.
Black Doomwake, all for hashtag. All right, so that is a case where they in fact did have a sideboard card or sweet mirror tech.
Do you think every Enchantress player just like lost their mind when they saw Constellation? They just had a moment where like,
sure.
oh my god, cards for my deck.
Yeah,
Like,
I think there was probably some. We'll bring up Doomwake Dragon.
giant.
No, Dragon.
That is unreal. I can't believe that. Jesus.
That would be pretty sweet. I mean, but granted, Mana Bloom is really the only like card that Enchantress got.
Sphere of Safety.
Oh, Sphere of Safety.
Saw Simon jam that Sphere of
But
Safety.
that's not Constellation.
No.
That's just Sphere of Safety.
All right, so
It's good things.
Simon on the play with basically ideal opener. He has mulliganed, and he goes basic Forest in Utopia Sprawl. Looks like he's naming white. I think he has those helpful little tidbits. Oh, he has Mold of 5 as well. He has Sterling Grove, Arid Mesa, Sigil the Empty Throne.
That's.
I mean, he could play that Sigil. He could play the Sterling Grove with mana to pay for days next turn, which is at least nice.
Yeah, this is.
It's gonna be tough. So Nathan just probing and then gonna play Pluto Delta and pass.
Yeah, and this is going to be melt with that Spell Pierce.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, Nathan just gonna immediately Spell Pierce this. Get your value while you can with this Spell Pierce. There's no reason to wait. Sigil can just be the fact that Sigil could just be any card in his deck. I think it's fair to just get rid of it right away.
Yeah.
And I think Nathan has a Tarmogoyf in his hand, so he's likely just going to get on the offensive next turn. Also looks like he left in a couple bolts. Bolt basically Lava Spike in this matchup, with the exception of the Eidolon of Blossoms.
All right, so Goyf is.
Goyf is going to be a 3/4, 4/5. It's a 4/5 already. Each card in the graveyard is a different type.
Sorcery, instant, land. Oh, wow. Yeah.
And Simon going to fetch here. Probably a basic Plains, I'd imagine, just to continue playing around Wasteland. Big benefit of playing this deck is you just get as many basic lands as you want.
Yeah.
Oh, looks like he's nice. I think he's going to get, Savannah. Looks like he says, no, I want this Savannah in play. I wonder what that could mean. Might mean he wants double green. That's the only thing I can think of. He plays Sarah Sanctum and passes. He's he cannot cast Sigil right here. Looks like Nathan's hand is not great. Doesn't have too many counter spells. Looks like he just has bolts.
Ooh.
And Frozen Grip off the top. That was a nice one.
Solitary Confinement sitting in Simon's hand.
Yeah.
Excellent if you have a draw spell or draw engine going.
Yeah.
This is gonna be heartbreaking for Simon because Simon sitting at the head of the pack, and then
Oh, and then that's just getting gripped right away. Yeah. So Solitary Confinement, generally not even a great card in this sort of situation because he doesn't have any
I think he's
engines.
just trying to get it so he can play Sigil of the Empty Throne.
And then Nathan just going to town on Simon's land.
Granted, that was a pretty good rip.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't bad.
Frozen Grip into Wasteland, like that was pretty good.
And Simon following up with the Utopia Sprawl, likely naming green on this one. He didn't put any mana slip in there. And that's going to turn on the Mongoose here, this fetch land.
Yeah. And so
As much as fetch lands suck, they're pretty good for Nimble Mongoose.
meh.
Do you think he'll get... Oh, no, he didn't get the third green source.
You sure? That's loose. It's loose by Nathan. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I would have.
He just doesn't want to cast that.
Well, he's got
Fetch
2
Mongoose.
bolts.
And that's just game.
That's not game. Is
Yeah,
it?
it is. That's just
Did I
game.
miss some
We
attacks?
missed an attack last turn from the Goyf.
So that would have put him down to 15.
No, yeah.
Yeah, that would have put him to 15, down to 9, and then he takes another
Yeah.
8,
7.
7.
I think
Puts him to 2.
we missed some damage, but yeah, that must have been lethal. Wow,
Yeah.
what a fast attack. He just didn't get to do anything.
Yeah, that was unfortunate, and it was
Yeah, Simon Mold to 5, like it happens.
Simon Mold to 5, Nathan's Mold to 5 was very good.
Yes.
Like, just had an answer for everything.
Yeah,
But that's what Rob Elder does.
yeah, it really is. Sometimes you just play the cards that are in your hand because your opponent just doesn't have enough cards to keep up with what you're doing.
Yeah.
So should I go up and see if there's another match? We have 31 minutes left.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead and do a little gander, and then
I'll take a quick peek.
yeah, and then we'll do the giveaway when you get back down. So let's see. Whole Arid Mesa Utopia Sprawl deck seems like a good plan. Yeah, why not? You know, the more you know, cue music. Okay. And Delver may be the most white bread of Legacy. It doesn't mean... Yeah, it's definitely not an autopilot deck. Sometimes it is autopilot if your opponent moves to multi 5. I agree. Nah. It's going to be good. But guys, we're going to be doing a giveaway here soon. Rexy loves you. Oh, thank you, Rexy. I appreciate it. I love you too. But thank you for the follow. So we're going to do the t-shirt giveaway here soon, guys. And remember, come next Monday, we're going to start doing giveaways, or at least next Monday we'll have a giveaway at Dojo. Check out our Facebook page because I'm probably going to start it a little earlier in the week since it is kind of a different format. But it is going to be a Japanese Ravnica Dark Confidant that we're going to be giving away. So... again, courtesy of Chicagoland Games Dice Dojo. Again, it's going to be a slightly different format. There's going to be a link, and it's going to be kind of a points basis, depending on like how much you like follow and blah 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 blah. Since Dojo is kind of giving a pretty high value cards, it's going to be more in that format so that they kind of see a little bit of return for it as well. But should still be pretty good. Phil's upstairs trying to get us another match. Hopefully we will get something else. If not, again, just free stuff. And we'll sign off and we'll have a good night. Again, last week's streams and tonight's stream should be up tomorrow. I'm going to go, I forgot my hard drive, so I got to run back down to my house and get it. But should be good after that. Yeah, if anybody's got any sort of questions or anything, let me know. It still looks like there's a big rug argument going on, but yeah, so Crimson, it is going to be primarily social media driven, and that is what they've asked for, and that's why I'm not launching it tonight as far as the giveaway for the Dark Confidant, just because I don't necessarily think that's entirely fair. So, and it rewards new viewers much higher than it does existing viewers. So it's going to be, I want to toy around with it, see what I can do for the format giveaway to try to give like votes and stuff for like other things that they can maybe do, and kind of go from there. That's why all the kinks haven't been worked out, but I just wanted to let everybody know that that is going to be a thing that is going to be happening. Past that, the giveaways from MTG Card Market that happen on Wednesdays and Thursdays, those seem to be good to go for the foreseeable future, and those will be open to just everybody in chat as terms of the raffle structure that we've been doing the entire time. No, so like I said, Crimson, I'm gonna figure something out, so no worries. But the one we have, his beard is not growing good. Yeah, beard is what? I'm so confused. My beard's not growing good? That happens. That happens. That's fair. I'll shave it off, just for you. What is the raffle for the purple glasses? I want it. That raffle happens when you go to the glasses store and you say, hey, doctor, I would like a pair of sunglasses, but instead of sunglasses, will you put my prescription lenses in there? And we can make them transition lenses just for the shits of it. That is what I did. I believe these are Ray-Band Wavefinders. So, fun things. I think his beard is fun. Love the beard. Thank you. Maybe I'll shave half. Just half of it down. And then, everybody's happy that way, I think. Because there's a little bit of half and half. And actually, guys, while we're doing this, I'm gonna go ahead and look up. I'm gonna look up these spoilers. Are they on Salvation or are they on Gathering Magic? Either way, I'm sure Salvation's got something. I'm gonna check there first. Dragons and Dark here. I don't know. What's the best thing we got going? Profane Journey. Oh, they're bringing Rebound back. All right, that's kind of exciting. What the fuck is the purple border? Does anybody know what the purple border is? And can you explain that? But whenever Deathbringer Dragonlord enters the battlefield, if you cast it from your hand and there are 5 or more creatures on the battlefield, destroy all other creatures. Alright, that's pretty good. Return a card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Alright, Profane Journey. Not terrible. 7 mana. It's going to be a little much. Alright, we got a Mythic. Dragonlord Slumgar. 3/5 flying death touch. When it enters the battlefield, gain control of the target creature or planeswalker for as long as you control Slumgar. Slumgar. Fair enough. And there's a new Sidisi? Did I see a new... Somebody was talking about a new Sidisi? I don't... Oh. Sidisi Undead Visor. Death touch exploit. When this creature enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice a creature. You may search your library for a card and put it in your hand. Oh, that's not terrible. 5 mana. Probably see playing standard. Show picks. Alright, let's see. Let's see if I can do this. I'll try. Alright, so... There's the Profane Journey. See, I don't know if I know... Oh, I guess I'm already shouting at things. Beard's cool, fun, beard fun, love the beard, fun in quotes, take note. Oh, damn. Can you hit me up a link with the new releases? Yeah, Mythic spoiler, there we go. And then I'll go ahead and, I'll do this one as well. There we go, we got a little bit of that.
Finally. Everyone was mid-game when I went up there.
Oh, do we have another match?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
We got a game 3.
All right, guys. So giveaway's going to be with... we were looking at some of the spoilers. Oh. What the hell is with this purple border? Do we know? Do you know?
I don't think that's a real thing.
I don't... It looks...
So were you guys talking about how there's one... Well, there's one really absurd card right now.
What, the Sidisi?
Yeah. That card seems extremely, extremely good.
It's not bad. It's 5 mana.
I
mean, like, there's definitely some drawbacks to it. Like, I mean...
Yeah, it could cost less.
Yeah. Well, it costs less, but then you also have to have a creature in play already.
Anything that works well with Satyr Wayfinder is like already amazing.
Sure.
And this card is really, really good.
Is current Sidisi a zombie? Yep. I didn't think they were.
Yep.
I didn't think it was.
No, I think she's like a Naga something, like Naga wizard maybe.
Or shaman?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so
who do we have?
We have Joe and Zini. We have 2 Esper decks, but 2 very different Esper decks.
How were they different? Could you tell us more?
Yes.
Is this game 3?
This is game 3. So Zini is playing Esper Stoneblade. We saw him earlier. Just a pretty basic build of the deck. Not basic, I should say. Pretty straightforward build. Just playing a couple True Names, Stoneforge Mystics, Jaces, and then a pile of counter magic. And the card that ties the room together is Dig Through Time. As well as some hand disruption, counter spells, the like. Joe is playing Esper Worldgorger Dragon, which again we saw earlier with Kyle. Kyle losing to Rug Delver. And this is a sweet combo deck. It's pretty hard to win post-board games in general with this sort of deck against a lot of the disruption that the deck that Tony presents him with. I know Tony, the fact that this deck is sort of vulnerable to graveyard hate and counter spells and even just like Jace, because it just doesn't have too many. It's only counters our Force of Will.
Yeah.
It puts you in a bit of a weird spot.
Do we know the record for these guys?
So Tony won his first round. I think they're both 2-1. Let's just assume they're both 2-1.
Well, we'll go with it. It gives it more credence.
I don't think they would still be playing if they were 1-2. So
yeah.
I remember the last time. I think the last time.
Oh no, Zinni didn't win. Remember, it was a draw.
Oh, so he's probably he might be 2-0-1. No, that wouldn't make sense.
He's 1-1.
1-1-1.
Yeah.
All right. There we go.
Yeah. And I'll give Joe the benefit of the doubt at 2-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
But I think this match is pretty interesting.
Oh, and it can sack itself. I didn't think about that. The Sidisi. Can it? Let's see. When this creature enters the battlefield. Oh, yeah, you can.
Yeah, you may, which is actually pretty interesting. It's not a, you don't need to sack it.
But a 4/6
yeah.
Death Touch for 5 is not
it eats,
amazing.
Oh, it's great. In Standard, it's fantastic.
Oh, I guess
yeah.
it
eats Siege Rhino.
It eats Siege Rhino.
It eats Siege Rhino. It eats Tassiger. It eats
okay, yeah,
basically everything but like Rakshasa Death Dealer.
Because it can regenerate.
Yeah, or like a monstrous lion or something like that. But it locks up the ground. It's like a little expensive. The question is like, what sort of like how powerful is a deck like that going to be? Looks like Joe is mulliganed here. He's keeping his 6, leading off with a Ponder.
Was our fetch or no? All right, so apparently purple's just the new color for Magic.
No.
They're introducing a new color.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
That no one has heard about that
Yes.
yet.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Enchantress did not win the last round. Ended up going 3-1 tonight. All right, so looks like Joe kept with the Ponder. And Zini's just going to play an Underground Sea and pass.
Okay.
They have like 23 minutes for this game.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
All right, so I think Joe kept a Thoughtseize off that. Well, he's just going to play a land and pass. Dig Through Time is actually probably one of the more important cards in this matchup. Both decks are sort of relying on that card. Looks like Zini has a copy of Meddling Mage in his hand, but he doesn't want to cast it just yet. He's just going to hold up Brainstorm and Force of Will here. He also has Batterskull, which is not ideal.
That's risky because Joe could have gone Entomb at the end of his turn. And oh wait, no, he's got 2 Tundras. I lied. Never mind.
It looks like he has the Black Source, Dread the Pluto Delta. I think he has a couple copies of Cunning Wish in his hand, it looks like.
Fair enough.
And a Nephilia Drownyard.
And Nosferatu, how you doing?
And Zini's just going to Brainstorm. Doesn't want to tap out on his turn. Give Joe an opportunity to do anything without open mana. Just representing strength. Like Joe knows that Zini plays a couple copies of Counterspell in his deck, so might as well leave it open.
Yeah.
Caracas. That's sort of one of the benefits of playing Worldgorger Reanimator is that you are. Caracas has no text.
Yes. It is not a.
Legendary creature.
Yes. Very, very important. Also, we have confirmation on the purple border. Means it's a questionable card. Don't know if it's real or if the text is correct or not.
I understand.
Which makes sense.
So Joe's going to fetch in response to Zini's fetch. I thought that was going to elicit an Entomb, but apparently not. Just to play around potential Spell Pierce. But Joe's just going to fetch and probably let Zini go to his turn. He could jam and end step a Cunning Wish, but I don't know if that's in his best interest. He's just going to pass. He could Cunning Wish on the end of Anthony's turn, which I don't hate.
Yeah, it forces Zinni to tap out at that point, so you can kind of do...
Yeah, I like making him pay mana so you get free reign on your turn. Ooh. And so now he's going to play the Meddling Mage.
I'll run upstairs and find out what that's naming.
I would assume it's Entomb. We'll see. Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, probably Entomb.
Yeah. Yeah, there's certainly a lot of discussion about Esper versus Grixis. Specifically, I mean, like, Desolate Lighthouse is just a way better card than Nephilia Drownyard, but Swords of Plasters does a lot of work. There's some sweet white sideboard cards. Like, as I said, Silence is very good in the sideboard, protecting against Abrupt Decay. But I'm not sure. I don't know what's better. All right, so Joe has a Thoughtseize here, and Zini reveals a pretty stacked hand. A couple Force of Wills, Snapcaster Mage, Stoneforge Mystic, and a couple lands. The redundancy is especially helpful here because it means that Joe can't just snipe the one counter and fight and push through his combo. He's going to need to work through at least one Force of Will.
Yeah. So interesting. He could have taken the Snapcaster Mage, and then force the. That way, Zinni has to get rid of both forces.
Yeah,
and Zinni doesn't have any other card selection in his hand, so that also shuts him off of Brainstorm.
That's true. I think that's all right. I think you still take the Force of Will though, because it still makes him, like, given that he has other copies of Thoughtseize and like Duress in his deck, he can deal with those. He could find an answer to the other Force of Will. It is tempting just to take the Snapcaster because it's the better card in this situation. So Zini drawing a Thoughtseize for turn. We see a hand of double Cunning Wish, Snapcaster, Duress. Yeah, so Joe unable to cast the Duress as well that turn. Yeah, so that's why he took the Force of Will, because he has the Duress in his hand. Although, again, I think he just was worried if he takes the Force of Will, or if he takes Snapcaster, then it's just like if he draws a random blue card.
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
he's already
it's
in it.
just another thought. Oh, and
No, I like
the
it.
card named from Zinni, Absorb Vis.
Absorb
We'll
this?
bring that up really quick. Yeah.
No way.
Oh no, 100%.
There's-
I'm not trolling at all.
There's no
I
way.
promise.
I don't believe you for a second.
No, he
named Entomb?
He did name Entomb.
Just like,
Yeah.
let's call it down here. All right. So Meddling Mage on Entomb, unsurprisingly. As we said before, this Worldgorger Dragon, unlike normal Reanimator, is very reliant on Entomb. It has no careful studies. It has no other ways to really get the Worldgorger in its yard. Except for, the other way is just to go deep with Nephalia Drown Yard and hope you hit it.
Yeah.
All right, so Joe's just going to go for this value Snapcaster. He's just going to cast it. I think he's just going to flashback. He's just going to duress. Just going to get that Force of Will out of there right now.
And they can Thoughtseize themselves.
Yes, he can't. Yeah, he can't Thoughtseize himself. They do only have 2 copies of the card in the deck though, so it's a little rough.
So that was actually pretty good. So I mean, because Anthony plays the Stoneforge Mystic, gets the Batterskull.
He doesn't get it. I think he failed to find because he already had it in his hand.
Oh
Again.
no, he had it on the. He put it on the.
Oh, he brainstormed it back.
Yeah.
Okay, my mistake.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. And he gets that Batterskull out of there. This is just buying Joe time. Joe has 2 Cunning Wishes. Cunning Wish has quite a few sweet targets in the sideboard that can get him out of this situation. So I think he's just hoping to wait for a while. He might have Massacre in the side. Never mind. Massacre is not a card he can get. Massacre is a sorcery. I'm wondering what target he has. I think there's at least 1 Swords to Plowshares in the sideboard, which will just deal with that Meddling Mage.
Yeah.
He doesn't have an Entomb just yet, though.
And Infilakar, Drown Yard is one of the win conditions. Yes.
Yeah. The other way is just to make infinite mana, cast Cunning Wish, get Stroke of Genius, and then just
Or Blue Sun Zenith.
or Blue Sun Zenith, whichever you want, and make your opponent draw a zillion cards.
Have we missed any attacks? I don't believe we have. Chad, have we missed an attack?
I think we missed.
I think we.
One.
Yeah.
I think we missed 1 of Meddling Mage.
Okay. I believe that. We'll go to 15.
Yeah. It looks like Tony's gonna fetch here.
I believe in you. I believe in you. Yeah. Oh!
Got it.
God.
Ouch.
You're a beautiful man.
All right, and this is after snapping back this Brainstorm. And this was, I believe this was on end step.
Emperor Kalgar. Emperor Kalgar?
That sounds right.
Right? Emperor Kalgar.
Keep trying.
Emperor Kalgar.
Nope, you're good.
Emperor Kalgar.
All right, so Zini untapping this turn. He's drew another Meddling Mage, which is really excellent, knowing that Joe's hand is just 2 Cunning Wishes from that earlier Thoughtseize.
Yeah, and somebody made the comment that Grixis, he traded here. Oh no, he takes 1.
Yeah. And now Joe's gonna have to cast a Cunning Wish in response here, and I think he's just.
And so, if you're in Joe's position, it's not like his life total's that low. I almost leave the Snapcaster back, like, I don't know, almost,
you mean-
almost hoping that, like, huh?
Wish.
Yeah.
Cunning Wish. All right, so
Yeah, certainly, that's nailing 2 cards out of Joe's hand, and Joe's doesn't have much. Does he have 3 in his hand? Does he just have? Yeah, Cunning Wish is a pretty important card in this deck. It's a little clunky. You don't like. It's always the awkward card. Oh my God, he has 3 in his hand. That is just disgusting.
Comrade Squad points out a good point. Just Cunning Wish for Bile-Blight.
Yeah, for real. I mean, I'm actually pretty surprised that Joe didn't Cunning Wish in response to the Meddling Mage. I think because Zini knew from a Thoughtseize that he had 2.
Yeah.
I think you are sort of priced into doing it at this point.
Yeah, and this is and sorry, jumping back to my previous point where somebody was talking about Esper, Worldgorger versus Grixis. Grixis, you do have Bolt, so you actually do have an answer to something like this.
But
I mean, granted, Zinni's of course probably got a counterspell or something like that, but it does give you an out, no matter how unlikely it might be.
but Joe has outs too. He plays Swords to Plowshares. So
Yeah, but it's a bad card.
It's a bad. I misunderstood. I assumed that Swords was a good card,
Right.
and it turns out I was mistaken.
I forgot that they ran swords. I apologize.
All right, so Zini casting Dig Through Time and just finding.
Even though we saw swords.
Yeah, exactly. And he's gonna ponder here. Oh, jeez, just all gas. The Thoughtseizes don't even matter here. I think he knows that Joe has he's one card that Joe does that Zini does not know about. He knows he has 2 Cunning Wish and something. So he's gonna draw the Thoughtseize, and he's gonna find out that
Joe's got 3 of a kind, so to speak. And there's 3 cutting witches, none of which he can cast. And 1 is going to go to the bin there, and it's going to be an attack for 5? Yeah, 5.
Yeah. So Zinni dream crushing here a little bit.
A little bit. So I think this might be payback for Joe refusing to concede last week.
Fair enough.
So he's going to go to 9 here. Drawing Animate Dead. This might be a situation where you see the old Animate Dead Snapcaster Mage for value. I think it's actually fine here. He could, like, I don't know how much better this Animate Dead is going to be. Like, you know he has at least 1 Force of Will.
Doesn't it just kill the...
No, it's -1, -0.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like Joe is aware that Anthony has 1.
Is it necromancy that's -1? I thought there's one that's -1/-1. I could be wrong.
No.
But it does look like there's a necromancy in the board or in the yard. So.
Yes. Yeah, necromancy, just another one of the enchantment win conditions.
It's a flash.
Yeah.
But for 3.
All right. So Tony just gonna counterspell this. Like, there's no reason to give Joe value. You have a 2-turn clock. You have a Force of Will, which you're just gonna hold up next turn. This is game. And he knows he has another Force of Will on top of his deck, so this is about as locked up as they come. He's gonna attack for 5, and put this at lethal for next turn.
Whip womp, whip it womp womp.
With beatdowns.
Oh,
and
land.
Joe just draws
Got
land.
there. Got there.
There we go.
All right.
And that's it.
So,
Look at these. Yeah, just the Meddling Mage beatdown is just a really, really excellent way to attack combo decks out of these blue-white decks.
Zinni got 3 and 1.
Yeah, he somehow won 2 games in that time.
It was it took about that correct amount of time.
Yeah.
But all right, guys. So we're gonna do a little giveaway.
3. Sorry.
Little
Force of no skill. What a that is just incorrect.
Trolley McTrollersons.
Yeah. Kappa, as they say.
All right, guys. So we're gonna give a WUBRG shirt away.
Yeah.
Actually, 2 of them. I said 2 of them earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got sizes extra small through XXL, I believe. Fingers crossed.
Hopefully.
What we're gonna do. So basically, you have to be followed. Please follow. I'm gonna start the raffle, and when we do that, you're gonna type in !raffle until I can change it to waffle, and then then that's gonna be it.
One day we'll change it to waffle, but that is not this day. Also, just to follow, it should be pretty easy. There should be a button on Twitch. It's just like a big purple button that says follow. Click it.
Yep.
It's easy. Easy stuff.
Oh wait, and then hold on. Emfracogar. Yeah, I mean, and thankfully we are able to do giveaways. Well, the T-shirts are from my pocket, but the cards, thankfully, are from our up to this point have all been from MTG Card Market, which we stream from on Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Yep.
Definitely check out their online store. They generally have a pretty good, especially if you're looking for like power or any sort of like rare, rare card that you want. Talk to Jameson; he'll get it for you.
Yeah, they have a pretty extensive like foils and high dollar cards.
Yeah. So specifically go with that. All right, I'm going to start the raffle, and that's open.
All right.
Phil's going to tell you about how he was touched as a child.
Yep.
And when that story is done,
the
raffle will be done. Well, we'll do a 10-second countdown in chat.
Okay.
And then the raffle will be done.
Okay, so one time I was touched as a child on my face by another man's hand. It was pretty normal. It wasn't really weird. Just like happens. I can't really comment too much on it because it just wasn't interesting. It's just a normal thing. Sometimes you just like see a dude, he touches your face. And that's how you get to know your closest friends. My closest friend, Mark McManus. Not to make light.
It's a good thing.
But yeah.
It's a good thing. I don't know. That story wasn't as like long and heartfelt as I was hoping. So.
No, I don't have any long and heartfelt stories.
God. All right, so
most of my stories are just pretty anecdotal, doofy stories about garbage and stuff like that. But yeah, it's fantastic. Awkward. How dare you assume this is awkward?
when one man rubs another man's face, it's
Look, Mark just wanted to look into my eyes.
I did.
And tell me about me.
Stop typing waffle. You are not achieving anything by typing waffle. Actually, you know what? Do whatever you want. I can't tell you what to do.
All right, so we're all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and Suflin's nice history.
Okay.
I like that face too.
Oh, I should say. Well, we forgot to mention tonight. Our gracious hosts, Chicagoland Games Dice Dojo. They will soon be giving away cards as well. You should buy cards from them too.
Yep.
Good people.
Yeah.
Search for Google Chicagoland Games. I don't know what their website is off the top of my head.
I don't know. It's a really long URL. All right, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do a countdown. 10, 9, 8,
Weird
7, 6.
I have many weird stories.
Hashtag weird stories. Hashtag fetchline stuck. Stony J, thank you for following. 4, 3, 2,
1.
1.
And
Scroll down. Draw. Oh, all right.
Juvie. All right.
Juvie. Thank you for following. Or I guess you have been following. But yes, thank you for. So this is going to be the first T-shirt, guys. First T-shirt. And send me. You win a shirt. That's going to be the first one. And let me draw the second one.
Hey.
And
Emperor Calgar.
Emperor Calgar.
Congratulations, Emperor Calgar.
Uh,
You guys earned it. You two earned it. Rigged. Immediately calls rigged. It is not a raffle unless someone calls rigged.
oh,
In case
God.
if you want to vote for rigged, just type exclamation
Mark
point
rigged.
rigged.
Yeah. Maybe that's what I'll change it to.
It's just rigged.
it's just right. You win a shirt.
Yeah, so,
all right.
so we'll message you. You just gotta send them. Send Mark your address. He will not show up at your house, but he will.
I might.
Yeah, but a T-shirt
I
will show up at your
might.
house, and that'll be way better. Just send him your size. It'll be great.
Shirt size, name, zip, and address. No, trust me. There's a reason why I type this stuff out. So, congrats. There. I like my capitalization
Yay.
there too.
Let's copy and paste that one.
Yeah.
Send these messages.
Done.
All right, but congratulations to Juvie and Emperor Calgar.
Emperor Calgar. Emperor. I give up.
Yeah.
Now I can wear a sick WUBRG shirt
Yeah.
to F&M in the future. Yes.
Please do.
Type the address in chat. No, don't type the
Do
address.
not do no.
RT Kind Killer, while he is kind, is still a killer.
Yes.
And will kill you in real time.
Yeah, I would still
Yes.
mess with that.
Yeah, that's not great.
But I'm from Germany. Well, shit.
Wait, who's from Germany?
Juvie, are you actually from Germany?
I just shipped a shirt to Belgium.
Oh, never mind. Don't care. If you're from Germany,
Yep.
no problems.
Yep. Ah,
Yeah.
it's like $10 in shipping.
Well, good on Mark.
Yep. Juvie, you better wear it.
Yeah.
Better wear it, Juvie.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, we appreciate that you guys, joining our little raffle here, our little waffle raffle.
Rounded Pegasus, the next stream will be Wednesday, 7:30 Central Time from MTG Card Market. It will be Modern.
Yes.
The next stream after that will be Thursday, 7:30 Central Time, and that will be Legacy, also from MTG Card Market. And the Wednesdays and Thursdays stream, we generally give away cards.
Yep.
Because MTG Card Market is very gracious in donating those cards.
Yeah.
So,
It's good stuff.
yeah.
Yep.
So it is good things.
Yeah, Modern's pretty fun. It's like Modern's got we get like a lot of people who show up for Modern. Like Modern
Yeah.
always has like between like 20 and 40 people. We've had
Yeah.
like crazy numbers.
Modern's pretty good.
And then on Thursday, we get U.S. national team member Andrew Beckstrom.
Yeah, Beckstrom will be commentating. I have no idea who's going to be commentating with him.
Yeah, we don't know yet. Maybe me. Who knows?
All right, if you want to do it.
We'll see what I'm doing, unless I want to just elf some people. We'll post Simon's deck list, or we'll have Simon post his deck list.
Where's that? My pen is missing.
Come on. I'll remind you.
Okay, thank you.
But yeah, Simon, that deck list will show up on the Facebook page, which you can find somewhere in this chat. It's just like facebook.com/WUBRGxyz. We've posted it like 100 times.
Yeah. Princess Luna. Hey, how are you doing?
Whoa.
Yeah, and Rounded Pegasus, please slack off. I slack off and watch my brother stream.
Yeah.
Like chunk of times.
Nice.
At work. Why not?
Yeah, do what you gotta do.
I'm just not actually slacking off. It's more of like in the background. I'm
What-
just listening to it.
Did you play like Moto?
No, Greg streams mostly like H1Z1 and Dark Souls
Is that a
and Visceral games.
H1Z1? That's not,
H1N1
That's the
is the flu.
Oh,
The
this
swine
is not
flu.
the flu. Okay.
Yeah,
You just not.
H1Z1 is a video game.
Okay.
I think it's supposed to be like a swine flu type or flu-esque, but it makes you a zombie. Instead of
Fascinating.
just killing you, you know?
Yeah. All right.
It's a thing.
All right.
It's a thing.
Okay.
He's pretty funny. He had Nick and Schaefer and I rolling.
Oh really?
it was pretty funny.
Oh dear.
Oh, man. Yeah, and if you guys want to watch my brother's stream, Bisco M.
It's wax eater. This,
Yeah,
this
I'll
is
type that in there. Bisco M, user Bisco M. There we go. Done. On
Perfect.
Twitch.
all right. So we all set for tonight.
I think we're good for tonight. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you for all of the followers. Much appreciated.
Oh, I have a quick plug before I go. I think.
Yeah, what's the plug?
So I think I'm gonna start recording a podcast tonight.
Oh, very nice.
A magic podcast.
And I have to be honest. I also promised another plug to another podcaster.
I'm in the middle of plugging mine. Thank you very much. Can you wait until I finish my sentence? Oh my
Whoa,
god!
you didn't run it by me. So like, where's the kickback here? Like,
I
$67,000 is my advertising fee.
I'll write you a check.
No, I'm sorry, but no. So do you have a site and stuff? Where can people go?
No idea. I will post this when I've figured it out. We're doing like a trial run tonight.
Okay.
And we're gonna see how it goes. And all right, I'll stop plugging my podcast, and you can plug
No,
your,
what's
the other
what's the podcast name?
podcast. Don't have one yet.
Don't have one yet.
Nope.
All right, fair enough.
Working on it.
It's okay. I actually have to look up. I have to look up Wilson's podcast. Wilson, prominent player in the Southeast. He top.
Wilson Hunter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do you know Wilson?
He beat me at the Invitational. He top 8'd. In Legacy. On day 1, he was my one loss in Legacy. Again, I was playing Elves and he was playing Storm, so I got crushed.
Yep. And so here's Wilson Hunter's podcast. And RK Gamer, thank you for following. Oh yeah, what's your podcast gonna be covering? Is it gonna be Magic?
Yeah, it's gonna be a Magic podcast. It's gonna be with a couple Indiana Magic players, Spencer Garnier, Evan Smith. I don't know who else we're gonna have on it, but
I'll come on there.
yeah, we might have a Mark on there, a wild Mark, definitely wild. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about
Legacy, Standard, Modern. What do you limited?
probably just current Magic things. So probably like whatever tournament happened, and then just I know we're definitely gonna be talking about Cube a bit.
So
We're all rabid Cube drafters.
fun fact: Simon Camero, myself,
Yep.
Greg Schaefer, and Kyle Norman. We did a drinking podcast. It was a Power Hour podcast.
Oh, gosh.
We did a couple of those.
How'd that go?
They never released, but my God, they were amazing. So it starts out and the minutes are going like normal, and you're taking your drink. All right. By the end, you're like, dear God, these are coming like every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
But it was good. Don't interrupt. Yeah. But no. And if you guys need a place to host, talk to me.
Okay.
Yeah, we can. If not, put them up on the WUBRG site. We can put them up on. I can show you the ropes on how to do that. I don't know what your background is.
We'll talk. We'll talk.
We'll
chat.
talk right now.
Yeah. No.
All right, fine.
All right.
All right, guys. But
Yeah.
thank you guys. Yeah, and so the Brainstorm show. It's a mostly Eternal, vintage Legacy. At least that's what he's told me.
Seems sweet.
I have to go actually, and I've listened to part of one. I need to go actually listen to a full one, which has been kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But Wilson, if you're in there, I didn't see Pat Runkin in the chat though, so he promised to plug for us.
Yeah.
So, but I'll keep plugging him. That's
Fantastic.
perfectly fine.
All right. But yeah, thanks for everyone for tuning in. Thank you for Dice Dojo for hosting us, and yeah, enjoy you two. Thank you to Juvie and Emperor for winning some shirts, and
Thank you to them.
yeah. So
All right, Crimson, we'll see you later.
Yep. Hopefully, see you guys on Wednesday.
Yep. Kind Killer, we'll see you later. Everybody, thank you so much. Grand Fly, love you so much. Thank you, Mr. Gleischer.
Have a good night.
All right, see you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.